Warning. You're now entering a stream that isn't suitable for everyone. Be warned that this channel will have swearing, singing, sexual innuendos and lots of jokes that could easily offend. It is advised that you must be a little bit weird yourself to enjoy this channel, as those that thrive and enjoy the stream are weird in their own little ways. The chat is called El Chatty and is a wonderful community. It really is. However, again, it might not be for everyone. We want to hear everyone's opinion, no matter what it is. We encourage debate as long as it's done respectfully. If you're easily offended or don't like differing views, then again, this channel is not for you. By entering this stream you do so at your own risk. If you want to try it out, that's absolutely fine, but if you don't like it, no need to announce your departure, you can just leave quietly, as this isn't an airport.
So there we go, we're back here. Welcome everyone. There you go, Sarah P has decided to join us this time. Hello Toots, hello Madeleine, hello Badazza, hello Dumpster Juice, hello Marky, hello Rhonda, hello Lady Di. Don't tell me what to do. Bex, hello. Disclaimer got added. I don't even want to know why disclaimer got added. Because people kept saying this channel's disgusting. My response is fuck off then. You don't have to be here. If you'd like to support the channel, and that's the reason we have low numbers. So support the channel. Best way to do is PayPal or buy me coffee, especially buy me coffee. I get to keep a lot more of the money on that one. So I'll pin that for Sarah P, and we will get ready to go. We have got 10 likes already. Thank you, everybody. Right, let's get into it straight away. No point messing about. 1.4 speed again, because a lot of you are struggling with the speed of it. Normally you like it faster, but you've told me to slow it down a little bit. So you want the rhythm to slow down ever so slightly. So we will slow it down for you people, so it's not over in like 2 minutes. Right, let's go. Let's get going. The witness is on the stand and we are ready to go. Here we go.
Stopped at the point that
fuck me, that's bad. Right, I'm gonna undo the boost.
I think
I've undone the boost. Is this okay for everybody? Because that audio was fucking massive.
we documented the outside area and we looked at the items that you collected from outside. Is that right?
Correct.
Can we now move to the inside of the house? Did you also video that area?
Thank you,
I did.
Dumpster.
Judge, can we look at exhibit number 5? And I'm going to ask Ms. Kenner if she can identify the exhibit.
I have lowered it now, so hopefully it's a little bit better.
Yes, ma'am.
The Grumpy has arrived. Hello, David. How are you? Nice to see you,
ma'am, can you identify that exhibit?
Yes, it's a copy of the video that I recorded from the inside.
Have you reviewed that video?
I have. It has my initials on the disc.
And it's true and accurate as to what you yourself saw?
Yes.
Can we play that at this time, Your Honor? Can we please play it? Yes. variance, okay. Judge, can we please put up Exhibit 6?
Yes. Introduce the five and evidence. right?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
Or yes, sir, I'm sorry. I was gonna ask her afterwards, but that's fine. Are you able to identify that exhibit, ma'am?
Yes, this is another copy of the video recording and it has my initials on it, so I have reviewed this.
And is it true and accurate as to what you yourself saw that morning?
Yes,
Does that include kind of the remainder of the inside of the house?
yes.
Can we please play that at this time, Your Honor?
Very plain.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mike. Ma'am, would you make that exhibit your testimony?
I'll go back down because some of you start whinging again.
Yes.
At the time you take these initial videos, before you place out any evidence markers, has anything been searched?
It is not. So we would take these videos before we opened any cabinets, anything to show what it looked like when we arrived.
Even outside? Is all that just how you find it as you get there?
Yes, that's correct.
You also took some photographs of this area before you identify any evidence, is that right?
Yes, another team member took all the pictures and I took the video.
We have to go through all these photographs. If we could start with the exhibit number 108, please. Are you able to identify that photograph there?
Yes, this was the door that we accessed the house through.
Can we go to 111?
What was that number?
108, sir.
And this would be the view from the kitchen to that laundry entry room.
Excuse me.
What number is that?
I'm sorry, I can't, I'm sorry, I said it is 111.
111.
For some reason, they're not. Don't know why they're not showing up full screen. That's 111. Maybe you said that was.
Yes, this is from the kitchen to that entry laundry room.
In 356.
These were clothes that were found in the laundry, the washing machine.
In 357.
And that's the back of those pants.
358.
This was a shirt that was found in the laundry, in the washing machine.
In 359.
And that's the back of it as it was found.
Can we look at 112?
This is a view from the kitchen to that first bedroom, and the entryway is to the right. I'm sorry, to the left.
And 113, please.
This is a picture of the oven that was in the kitchen.
114
The top of the stove from the kitchen.
and 115.
That was a pot that was on the stove top.
116.
That was another pot that was on the stove top.
117.
So this is a view from that entryway through the kitchen to the living room area.
Would you please look at 118?
This is another view from the kitchen between the entryway and that first bedroom.
Would you look at 176?
This was inside of the oven.
Can you look at 119?
This is a view from the doorway of that first bedroom towards the rest of the kitchen.
120?
This is a view from the living room doorway towards the bathroom area in the kitchen.
121?
This is another view from that same area towards the kitchen.
122?
And this is the rest of that kitchen area.
123?
This is another view of the kitchen.
124?
This was the microwave in that stand in the kitchen.
125?
That's a view of the sink from the kitchen.
And 126?
That's a view from the countertop to the kitchen, and the bathroom would be to the right.
Are all those photographs true and accurate as what you saw?
Yes, sir.
Did you make all those exhibits your testimony? I tried to keep these in some kind of order. Can you please look at 127 now, please?
This is a view from the kitchen into the bathroom.
128?
This is a view from that doorway into the shower, the bathroom.
129?
This is a cabinet that was in the bathroom. It's behind the door.
130?
This is the same view, that cabinet, and then lower down the laundry hamper in the bathroom.
And 131?
And that is the vanity area in the bathroom.
Are all those are all those photographs true and accurate as what you saw?
Yes,
You make those exhibits your testimony?
yes.
Now let's go to 142, please. Be able to explain that now?
Yes, this is a view from the kitchen into that living room, and you can see that second bedroom to the left.
Did you look at 143?
This is the trash can that was in the kitchen.
Did you look at 144?
This is again a view from the kitchen looking into the living room.
145?
This is the living room. That wall is the one that's connected with the kitchen.
146?
This is another view of that same area.
147?
This is a close-up of that same area.
148?
This is another view from the living room. The kitchen would be to the right and the bedrooms would be to the left.
149?
This is that same area, the living room.
150?
This is the view of the heater that was in the living room.
150? 151?
This is a view from the couch. There was an ashtray, cigarette pack, and lighter on the couch in the living room.
152?
This is the love seat that was in the living room.
153?
So this is a view from the living room looking into that third bedroom and the TV stand.
154?
That's a view of the TV stand in the living room.
And 155?
And this is a view from the living room looking at that second bedroom and then the doorway to the kitchen.
Are all those photographs true and accurate? Is what you saw?
Yes.
Did you make those exhibits to your testimony?
Yes.
And I'm sorry. That's just how you found it, is that right now?
That's correct.
Maybe with the exception of the clothes, they were in the washer.
Yes, they were in the washer and then we removed them and collected them as evidence.
Would you look at 156, please?
This is a picture of that second bedroom.
Would you look at 157?
This is a view from that second bedroom into the living room.
158?
This is that same second bedroom.
159?
This was a hamper in that second bedroom.
160?
This is the bed in the second bedroom.
Would you please look at 161, ma'am?
This is the wall, so a higher up view from the bed of the previous picture in that second bedroom.
162?
This is in the second bedroom looking behind the door.
And 163?
And this is a view from the living room looking at another doorway that heads out to a porch.
Are all those photographs true and accurate as to what you saw?
Yes, they are.
Did you make those exhibits to your testimony?
Yes.
Let's make another one. We'll put up 164.
This is a picture of the third bedroom.
165?
This is another view of that third bedroom coming from the living room.
166?
And this is also the same bedroom, bedroom number 3.
167?
This is another view of that third bedroom.
168?
This is another view of the third bedroom.
170?
This is the dresser and hamper in that third bedroom.
Did we put up 169? I may have gotten it. I'm sorry, can you put up 169?
This is the bed and dresser in that third bedroom.
And this is before anything's been moved, is that right?
That's correct.
Would you look at 172?
This is a view of the floor as soon as you would get into that third bedroom. These boots here were why I didn't continue with my video because we did see some staining on the boots.
Would you look at 173?
That is another view of the floor of that third bedroom.
174?
Those are the boots that I mentioned earlier on the floor of the third bedroom.
Would you look at 203?
That's another view of the third bedroom. So the bed is going to be to the right and the dresser to the left.
204?
I believe this is the third bedroom. So that's going to be a picture of the very top of that bed towards the window.
Ma'am, do you remember what that is on the floor there beside or at the bed?
I believe it's a cigarette pack, but I don't recall what else was down there.
Would you look at 205, please?
So that's another view from the bed. That window in the last picture would be to the right and the dresser to the left.
Would you look at 206?
That was a picture of a phone that was recovered underneath that blanket.
Would you look at 363?
This is underneath the mattress in that third bedroom.
341.
These were some earbuds or headphones that were present in that third bedroom.
343.
That was another pair of earbuds that were found in that third bedroom.
345.
That's that same earbud case. We opened it to see what was present.
350.
That's the box for a pair of boots. I believe that was in the third bedroom also.
351.
That's another view of that same box.
352.
That was the dresser in the third bedroom.
353.
And that was clothing that was present in the third bedroom.
354.
Those were the size. We wanted to document the size of the pants, so that's a close-up of the tag of the pants on the floor.
Are all those photographs true and accurate is what you saw?
Yes.
Did you make those exhibits your testimony?
Yes.
Let's go to the last one. Can we go to 132, please?
This is a view from the kitchen into that first bedroom and the entryway.
133,
That's another view of that same area.
134,
That's a picture of the first bedroom, looking from the kitchen area.
135,
That's another corner of that same first bedroom.
136,
That is the floor of the first bedroom.
137,
That's another view of the floor from the first bedroom looking into that kitchen.
138,
This is a picture of the bed from that first bedroom.
and 139.
And this is looking from that first bedroom into the kitchen.
Are all those true and accurate as what you saw?
Yes.
You make those exhibits your testimony.
Number 5.
Ms. Kelly, out of all of those areas, did you identify certain pieces of items that you wanted to collect as evidence?
Yes. During the scene, I was in charge of marking any staining that was present in the house. So I did mark multiple areas of reddish brown staining in the house.
And did you take a video of that area or a video of those items?
I did, yes.
Would you please put up exhibit number 7, Ms. Allen? Are you able to identify that exhibit, ma'am?
Yes. It has my initials on the disc. It's a copy of the video that I took during the scene.
Have you reviewed that video?
Yes, I have.
Is it true and accurate?
Yes, it is.
Can we play it, sir, this time? Would you make that an exhibit your testimony?
Yes.
Number 5.
Can we please put up some? Can we please put up exhibit 8? Were you able to identify that exhibit, Mayor?
Yes, it's another copy of video that I took at the scene. It's a copy, and I have reviewed it. It has my initials on it.
It's true and accurate is what you saw.
Yes.
Judge, can we play it at this point? Yeah. Did you make that exhibit your testimony?
Yes.
Can we please put up exhibit number 11, please?
This is a copy of one of the videos that I took with my initials on the disc.
Is it true and accurate as to what you saw?
Yes,
You've reviewed the video.
I did. Yes.
Man, did you have to go back into that bedroom that the boots were in and take another video?
Yes, I did. Once we find evidence, we have to measure it in, photograph it, mark it, video it. So we kind of uncover it in layers. So as we discovered more markers, more evidence, we then took more photos and video.
Judge, can we play exhibit number 11 at this time? Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would you make all these videos of the inside of the home? Would you make all those exhibits to your testimony?
Yes.
That's good. Mr. Music. Were photographs also taken after these evidence markers were placed out?
Yes, they were.
Can we please look at exhibit number 179?
This is a view from the kitchen. We have markers 12, which is a pair of pants, and 13, which is staining on that cabinet in front of the sink.
Would you look at exhibit number 180?
This is a little closer to that marker 13, which is staining on the front of the cabinet of the sink.
Ma'am, exactly what are you saying when you say staining?
I can show you. So this right here would be that reddish brown staining, which could indicate blood.
Would you look at 181
This is a close-up of that same staining, marker number 13.
and 182?
That is even closer of that stain on the front of the cabinet.
183, please. Are you able to identify that photograph?
Yes, this is a view of the living room. It has markers 14 and 15 on the couch, which is staining.
184,
This is closer out to those reddish brown stains on the couch.
185,
This is marker number 14. You can see the staining right here on the edge of the couch.
186.
This is a close-up of that marker number 14.
So we'll go to 187, please.
This is a view of marker number 15, as well as the cigarette pack and lighter on the couch.
Can we see 188?
And that's a close-up of number 15.
Can we go to 213, please?
These were more stains that were found later on once we had more light in the room. This is marker number 18. There were several areas on the back of that couch in the living room.
214,
This is a close-up of marker number 18.
215,
It's a little hard to see because of the shining, but there is reddish brown staining right here above the tape.
let's go to 217.
This is the stain near the bottom of that couch. I believe it's right here.
Can you look at 218, please?
So that's a little bit better of a view where you can see that stain right here, which is marker number 18.
Can we go to 330, please?
This was staining that was found in the bathroom on the shower floor.
331, please.
This is a closer shot of marker number 23, which is that staining on the shower floor.
Yes, I'm sorry. 332. It might be better to see.
Yes, so this had already been swabbed when I took the video, but this is the reddish brown staining that was present.
And did you take samples of all these areas, ma'am?
Yes, all of those areas were swabbed and submitted to the lab for testing.
Can we look at 464? And can we hand her that item, please, ma'am? Did you bag those items up, ma'am?
Yes.
Are you able to identify that, ma'am?
Yes. It has my ID. Since I collected them, it has all the marker numbers that were swabbed, and each of those swabs is in a box inside of here with my initials, the time, and what it was that I swabbed.
Did you seal that bag up and take it back to the lab or not?
Yes, it was sealed, and those initials are team leader, which is Kim Lowe.
Ma'am, can we please go to exhibit number 190? I'm sorry, would you make that exhibit your testimony?
Yes.
Thank you.
This is from the third bedroom. It's the boots that were found on the floor with that staining.
$191.
This is a close-up where you can see a little bit more of that reddish brown staining that could indicate blood on the toe of those shoes.
And 192.
This is a side view of those same boots.
Can we look at 196, please, ma'am?
This is another view from further inside of that room, looking at the hamper and those boots, which are marker number 16.
198.
That's another view of those boots.
209.
That's another view of those boots, marker number 16.
210.
That's another view of marker number 16, which are the boots.
211.
That's from the other side of those same boots, marker number 16.
Y'all make sure to document every ankle of those boots.
But we do try to.
Would you look at exhibit number 200?
This is a pair of headphones that were found in that third bedroom, and they're marker number 17.
And I shouldn't say it's not just the boots. Y'all document everything.
We do.
Everything. Try to.
The investigators told us to look out for any headphones and any boxes because it was important to know if any headphones had been bought. So we tried to document any headphones that we saw in the house.
Would you look at 201, please, ma'am?
That's a close-up of those headphones from bedroom number 3.
Yes, ma'am. 202.
That's another view of those headphones in bedroom number 3.
207.
That's another view of the headphones on the dresser in bedroom 3.
333. You able to identify that photograph?
Yes, that was after we uncovered more evidence in the room. We moved the blanket and some clothing and were able to see some more items that we marked.
334.
That's a little bit closer of markers number 24, 25, and 26.
335.
That's another view of those same markers.
336.
That's a close-up of a screwdriver that was found on the floor underneath some items, and that was marker number 26 in bedroom 3.
337.
These items were found on the bed in bedroom number 3. That's going to be another hammer, a hammer, marker number 24, and a spot of reddish brown staining, which could indicate blood on marker number 24. I'm sorry, 25.
Did you actually find that, ma'am, or did someone else on the team find that?
Another person moved the blanket and was able to find those
See
items.
this document.
Yes.
338.
That is a close-up of that hammer that was found under the blanket, marker number 24.
339.
This is a closer shot of that reddish brown staining, which is marker number 25.
340.
That's another angle from marker number 25.
361.
Those were a pair of pants that we collected. They would be marker number 27 in bedroom 3.
362.
Those were the items that were collected from the washing machine in that laundry entry room area. They were marker number 28.
And did you find those items or did another member find them?
Another member of the team found those items.
Are all those photographs true and accurate, ma'am, as to what you found?
Yes,
Did you make those exhibits your
That's
testimony?
what we found.
yes.
Can we play just a few minutes, or let me put up exhibit 10, please. Were you able to identify that exhibit, ma'am?
Yes, this is a copy of the video recordings.
Is it true and accurate?
Yes, I reviewed it and it has my initials on the disc.
Can we play just a piece of that, Your Honor, unless Mr. Easton puts it all play?
Yeah.
That's fine. Ma'am, do you recall walking back into the house after everything has been collected?
Yes,
Is that what's on the rest of that clip?
yes.
And can you tell them, ma'am, just exactly why you do that?
We like to, excuse me. So when we arrive on the scene, we will take an initial video of exactly how we found it. And at the end of the scene, once we have collected all the evidence and we're ready to leave, we will go ahead and take another video just showing what it looked like when we left.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes,
All the items that you collected, ma'am, did you take those back to the lab? I think I asked you that already.
yes.
Would you please look at exhibit? It's collected 489. I'm also going to pass up the exact same copy of that. Are you able to identify that document, ma'am, or that collected document?
Yes, this is a copy of the chain of custody for our lab. So once we, as a team, get back to the laboratory, the team leader will get all the documentation ready to submit all of these pieces of evidence to the lab. And once that starts, it will generate excuse me, the evidence technician will generate a laboratory number, which is unique to this case. And she will go ahead and start that chain of custody for the lab. So anytime evidence is moved between individuals or vaults, it's documented, and the employee will scan their badge and then have a PIN number.
So that document traces every piece of evidence that you took back to the lab.
Yes, so every piece of evidence, anytime it moves through the lab, it will be scanned. On the bags, there's also a barcode, so each of those evidence will be scanned and it will be transferred between individuals and between the vault.
And if there's any question about something, any type of possible tampering, is that documented?
Yes, that would be documented in our laboratory information system.
And does that document contain every piece of evidence that you collected from Statutory Road out there? Old Statutory.
I believe so. Yes.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
May I have 1 second, please? Ms. Kenna, thank you. That's all I have. I'll let you answer any questions.
You're considering the length there, and I need to consult.
It's 10:20, we've been at an hour, 20 minutes, we'll take about a 15-minute break.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Ossoff, you are a member of the TBI's Violent Crime Response Team, correct?
That's correct.
And in layman's terms, that would essentially be the TBI's CSI. Is that right?
Basically, we are forensic scientists that would go out and assist on scenes.
And by assist, you mean collecting evidence of crime scene? Just as you've shown here, you bag and tag it,
Yes,
and then that goes to the vault, and you create all that chain of custody, right?
that's correct.
And then it's tested in the lab.
Yes,
But your role in this particular case was not any lab analysis. Is that right?
I did assist with the, one of those black Ford trucks was submitted to the lab, so I did assist in that vehicle processing.
Okay. But as far as testing for DNA, you
I did not perform that testing, no.
But you are a DNA forensic scientist. Is that right?
That's correct, I am.
And so your role in this particular case was to, as you stated in your direct, was to test places where you suspected DNA might be found.
Yes, I would locate those areas and swab those areas to submit to the lab.
All right. So as a DNA forensic scientist, you're familiar with the concept of touch DNA, are you not?
Yes,
And that's essentially, my hand on the podium here. If I move it and you come and swab it, you're probably going to find my DNA there, aren't you?
there's a possibility, yes.
Just like we swab that chair after you get out of it, there's a chance we're going to find your DNA there. Isn't that right?
There's a possibility, yes.
Now, from yesterday, we were watching the outside video. That's where I want to draw your attention to. Obviously, you remember that, right?
Yes,
Okay. And you made mention to a section on Sherry Cole's pant leg that was raised. You remember talking about how it looked like somebody had grabbed that?
yes.
Okay. That wasn't swabbed for DNA, was it?
I don't believe it was. We talked to, I believe a member of the team did talk to the medical examiner and asked them to make sure that the clothing was preserved for future testing.
And to your knowledge, it was never tested.
I don't have any knowledge of whether it was tested or not.
And Exhibit 10 has a video there, the last one I think that we watched, it showed the video of the Honda and then later on the F-150, right?
Yes,
I noticed in both of those videos, you're taking that video without opening the door to either vehicle. Is that right?
that's correct.
Okay. Essentially, you're looking at what you could see in the plain view exception.
Yes,
And that's either because you didn't have a search warrant or something along those particular lines. You did not enter the vehicle.
yes. I usually won't do that during a video. I'm already kind of shaky at times, so it can get a little cumbersome trying to open the doors and get through the vehicle with a camera.
But isn't it true that neither of those vehicles were seized and searched? Isn't that right?
The Honda was not, and I don't believe that gray truck was either.
You also mentioned that from time to time you would get a phone call from the investigator. Remember talking about that? Or maybe you just mentioned a phone call.
They were actually on the scene, so I did not speak to any of them. That would have been through the team lead of the VCRT.
Okay. And that would be Special Agent Ken Lowe. Is that right?
That's correct.
The angle of this. All right. Ms. Isaac, how many crime scenes do you think you processed in your time with TBI?
I don't have an exact number. Probably around 15 to 20.
And you attend a yearly training in crime scene processing, I imagine?
We do have proficiency tests in crime scenes, and I am currently a VCRT team leader, so we do attend regular trainings for that as well.
But you did not fulfill the billet of team leader in this particular investigation.
I was not currently a team leader during this investigation.
You mentioned proficiency testing. That's where you're giving a scene with a piece of evidence and you're asked to collect it according to the TBI's standard procedures for collecting evidence. Isn't that right?
That's correct. They've set up a fake crime scene, and we will go in as a team and process it just like we would a normal crime scene.
And you're graded on that.
We are, yes.
And so when we're talking about collecting the preservation of evidence, one of those particular techniques is how you photograph evidence, right?
That's correct.
And so typically it's 3 photographs, one from somewhat far away, somewhat a little closer, and then a close-up so long as the environment allows. Does that sound about right?
Yes, we would do an overall, a mid-range, and then a close-up, usually with a scale or ruler to show that evidence.
And now the added layer of a video.
Yes, the video is an optional one. It's just to supplement those photos.
And that's also why later you come back with the evidence marker that either incorporates or you also lay down a measuring tool. Is that right?
That's correct.
And again, it's back through the 3-picture process for all of those things.
Yes.
And then also you keep a notepad where you document all that you're doing while you're processing a scene. Isn't that right?
Yes, we will each keep notes of what we do during the crime scene.
Correct me if the nomenclature is wrong or the terminology is wrong, but those are generally referred to as crime scene notes. Is that right? Or do you have a different?
That's what we would call them, yes.
Good deal. I just want to make sure that we're talking the same language. And one would imagine the reason you do these proficiency testing is that your proficiency or your lack of proficiency could affect the credibility of your testimony. Is that right?
Yes, so I mean, proficiency tests are there to show that we follow our policies and procedures and that we know how to collect those evidence items at scenes.
And one of the reasons I imagine you use these crime scene notes is that you probably processed several crime scenes since the last time you were in Greene County. Is that fair?
Yes, I have.
It helps you refresh your memory on what it is that you did.
Yes.
And so when you're creating these crime scene notes, you want to be accurate, don't you?
Yes, we would always try to be accurate in our notes.
You want to be detailed. You want to make sure that you put things in there to jog your memory for later, right?
That's correct.
And then you'd want it to be complete. You wouldn't leave something out that was really important, would you?
We would try not to. There's times when you can't really take your notebook with you to every part of the scene, especially with DNA or serology testing. That would be where you're trying to swab those areas of evidence. So I would need to change my gloves between each of those items just so I don't have any contamination between one piece of evidence to another or between packaging and that evidence.
Right. So if it was tight quarters or if there was multiple reddish brown stains that you were testing, you would test one, change gloves, test another, so on and so forth. Correct?
Yes. In this case, I did not perform any testing on the scene for those swabs. I only collected them.
Yes, ma'am. And isn't it something that is in the circle that you're in on the crime scene investigation team that if you don't document it, it didn't happen? Isn't that right? I'm sure you've heard that phrase, right?
I have heard that phrase.
And the CSI team, they also use certain acronyms that the rest of us probably aren't familiar with as a standard procedure, right? I'll give you an example. Now, that's probably not the best formation of a question I've ever given somebody. So essentially, you'll have something like SBPD. That would be an acronym that you guys use that's just vernacular amongst your team. Is that right?
Yes, that would stand for a sealed brown paper bag.
Now, you had mentioned that you were not a team lead on this particular, you were not a team lead at the time of this particular event, but you talked about how that now you are. Is there a special training that you go to that says now I'm ready to be a team leader, or just at some point do they deem you a team leader?
It's based on experience, training, and then you basically shadow a team lead so that you know how to perform all the paperwork that comes with it after a scene.
But you don't go to like a special seminar or school for it.
We have had multiple trainings with our VCRT coordinator for being a team lead.
Okay. And the team lead is responsible, I would imagine, for delegating how the evidence is going to be collected. Is that right?
For the most part, each of the team members is trained on all the disciplines and how to collect evidence. So for the most part, people know how to collect evidence. The team lead will pretty much tell them, okay, this is the job that I would like you to finish while other people are doing other jobs so that we can process the scene efficiently.
And so let's talk about once you arrived on the scene, you guys were debriefed by Special Agent Ketchum at about 5:12 a.m. Is that right?
That sounds about correct, yes.
And at this particular time, they'll give you just some initial information about what's happened before your arrival.
Yes, they'll just give us a briefing on what they know and the tests that they would like us to perform on the scene, as well as if we need to look out for anything. So in this case, we were told to look out for any receipts, any headphones, that type of thing.
But you were never told to look for reddish brown stains inside of the Ford F-150, were you?
Is that the gray truck?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay. I can't recall if we were or were not. I'm not sure.
You didn't collect any reddish brown stains with swabs inside of that gray pickup truck, did you?
I did not go into that pickup truck at all. No,
Same with the Honda. You didn't go inside of it. You didn't swab anything inside of it.
I did not know.
I noticed in one of the videos that you took inside that there was a coffee cup sitting on top of the heating unit. I believe is what that was in there in the living room. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. That was not collected, was it?
No, it was not.
I noticed that inside the first bedroom, that's somewhat connected, I guess, with the kitchen area.
Yes,
I noticed that there was a purse sitting on the bed right as you walked in. Do you remember seeing the purse?
I do remember the first there.
All right. And the purse was not collected, was it?
It was not collected as evidence.
It was not searched to look for what its contents may have had or anything like that, was it?
I wasn't in charge of searching that room, so I'm not quite sure if someone went through it or not.
I'd like to show you a still shot from your video, if I may.
That have an exhibit number?
It does not, Your Honor. I'm going to enter it here just in a second. So, Ms. Issa, does this appear to you to be that purse that we were just talking about that was on the bed?
It does appear to be that purse, yes.
Okay. And to the best of your recollection, it's a fair and accurate reflection when you brought the camera over the top of it in where you're taking that video?
I don't remember every still from the video, but it does look like it could be from that video, yes.
All right. And it appears to have something in the pocket there on the left-hand side. Is that close enough as far as being fair?
It does look like there is something in there.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I'd like this marked as a defense exhibit 1, or as you were, Ms. Tracy will add it.
We're at 491.
Yes, sir. That's my mistake. I misspoke.
Exhibit, huh? Make this 492. Yeah. We were at 491. This is 492.
Ms. Griffiths, you hold on to it for me for just a second. Okay. I'd like to draw your attention to Exhibit 203. 203 is going to be a photograph inside the bedroom. There's a picture of the screwdriver on the floor. Let me check and make sure I got it right. Do you recall the screwdriver that was collected out of bedroom number 3?
Yes,
It's a Phillips head screwdriver, isn't it?
I believe it's Phillips, yes.
That's okay.
Are you going to pull it up or not? You want to pull it up?
I think it'd be fine. They'll have that back in the deliberation room. They can check that themselves if they like. I think it'd be fine, Judge. Now, so we've established that you collected, but you did not test, correct?
I collected swabs at the scene. I did assist in testing parts of the Bronco.
That's right. You talked about how some of the pictures underneath and you swabbed from underneath there.
Yes,
And so you processed some of that. I think the vernacular would be spatter. Is that right?
I swabbed those areas. The Bronco didn't appear like it would move, so we wanted to test the inside of that Bronco as well. So myself and Ken Lowe began testing those areas for blood inside the Bronco.
Now, I imagine that the team lead, which in this case is Special Agent Lowe, correct?
That's correct.
Special Agent Lowe would have communication from other agents on the scene about giving direction about things that they wanted to look for. That's what you were talking about when it came to the headphones and the receipt, correct?
Yes, she was speaking with the investigators throughout the scene.
So the investigators would feed the team information and be like, be on the lookout for something along these lines. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Issa, I'm going to hand you 2 other photographs if I may. Oh, I'm so sorry. Now, these appear to be still shots of the blue and tan Ford Bronco at this scene.
Yes.
Now, these appear to be still shots taken from your walkthrough video that we all watched earlier, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And they essentially are just showing the vantage point from the front of the Bronco back toward the house. Is that right?
That's correct.
And it's fair and accurate reflection of what you saw on the scene.
Yes.
I'd like to have that marked as Exhibit 493, please.
Is it, are they both the same?
They are collective. They're two different angles, right, Ms. Issa?
493, 2 photographs. Bronco.
Ms. Ossett, this was there was a lot of blood at the scene. So.
Yes, there was.
And we saw the photographs and the video of the reddish brown stains on the side of the Bronco, correct?
That's correct.
And again, that phenomenon is known as spatter, is it not?
That's correct.
Okay. And so it would be fair to say that considering the spatter that's on the side of the Bronco, whoever inflicted these injuries probably would have had spatter on them as well.
It's possible, yes.
Which is why we're looking for clothes. That's why the CSI team is looking for clothes. Is that right?
That's correct.
And throughout both your walkthrough and collecting, swabbing areas that you thought there would be DNA evidence, there was no evidence inside the home that would support that these two victims died inside the home. Isn't that right?
There was not a lot of spatter inside the house. I can't say for certain where they died, but there was less of that reddish brown staining that could indicate blood in the house. The majority was outside.
In fact, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that there was the spatter on the white cabinet face of the kitchen sink, correct?
There was the one drop, yes.
There was the one drop in the bathtub,
That's correct.
and there were several drops in and around the couch. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
Nowhere else. Nope, that's not fair. There was a 1 by 1 centimeter, I think 2 1 by 1 centimeter reddish brown stains collected at the head of the bed in bedroom 3, closest to the window. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
And that's it inside the house. Is that right?
From what we found inside the house, yes, I believe so.
And while you processed the scene, you relied on all your training, right?
Yes,
You took accurate, detailed, and complete notes in your crime scene notes, right?
yes, I did. Can I qualify something that I just said?
Please, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. So those items that we collected, we did not test them for blood at the scene. Those would have been submitted to the lab for further testing in the laboratory environment.
Exactly. What's in these bags is essentially a cardboard tube with a Q-tip in it. Isn't that right?
From the swabs, yes, it's like a Q-tip with one side cotton and a long stick on it.
Right. So you swab that, you put it, I think you put it back in the container. Is that right? It ends up in that bag and you take everything up after you've collected several markers like you did in this case.
Yes, so each of them would be in a separate box, and then each of those boxes would have been placed in that brown paper bag.
And all those are how you've been trained, the standard procedures of the TBI, correct?
That's correct.
Let's talk about the standard procedure of collecting wet evidence, okay? So if you found wet evidence at a crime scene, you would put that in a plastic bag, would you not?
If we have plastic bags, yes, we can also put it in 2 brown paper bags and then repackage it at the lab once it's dried.
But isn't the standard procedure to put it in a plastic bag and then put it in a brown bag at the scene?
Yes,
And when you get the call, I believe it's somewhere around 3 o'clock in the morning, you guys met, I guess, at the trucks or trailers that have all of your gear, is that right?
yes,
And those things are stocked, ready to roll. It's not like you've got to restock them before you leave, right?
we do have some equipment that we would have to pack onto the truck, such as batteries for cameras, that type of thing. But we usually have them in a readily available area where we can put everything on the truck and leave for the scene.
And that makes sense for the batteries because most of those are most likely rechargeable, aren't they?
They are,
So you want to make sure you're getting something fresh. It's not going to die on you, right?
yes, and it's not great to store them in the truck because batteries do not like the heat.
That's right. But certainly you wouldn't have to worry about restocking latex gloves, would you?
No, we have gloves on the truck.
The brown paper bags.
We have those on the truck.
And if you're going to find wet evidence, I would imagine there'd be some plastic bags in there too, isn't that
I
right?
believe there are plastic bags on the truck, yes.
And part of that procedure, the reason why it's so different than other stuff is, like you said, if you come across something wet at the scene, it goes into a plastic bag and then it goes into the SBPB, I think it was, right?
Yes, the sealed brown paper bag.
And then more of that procedure is once it's transferred back to the lab and whenever it's requested out of the vault, it'll be taken out of that plastic bag and put somewhere to dry specifically. Isn't that right?
We would dry the evidence before it's submitted to the lab. If you were to leave wet evidence in a plastic bag, it could cause bacterial growth, which could damage any DNA that would be present on that item. And we don't want our evidence to have any kind of bacterial growth, mold, that type of stuff on it.
Thus the reason to get it dry, right?
That's correct.
And then it would be documented that A, that it was dried, correct?
Yes, we would document that we repackaged evidence.
Right. And then B, it gets repackaged, most likely into a brown paper bag because there's no need for the plastic one anymore, is there?
That's correct. We usually will dry that bag as well and put it into the packaging just so that we know that's what it came from, and in case anything was left behind in that bag.
And you've been trained in this special, important way to document and collect wet evidence, have you not?
Yes, I have.
All right. Your Honor, if I could have just a moment, I'm going to take some pressure off of Ms. Allen. I don't think it's fair for me to be asking her to do something I can do myself. May I push the picture?
Yeah, thank you. You look at it on TV?
Just one second. This is exhibit 360, is it not? Do you recall taking this photograph of you and Ms. Carlisle?
I did not take that photograph, but I was present when it was taken, yes.
And so this is a picture of the washer that's inside right as you first walk into the home, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
You want to introduce that? I don't think that one was.
It may not have been. Is that a fair and accurate reflection of what you saw when the washing machine was first opened up?
I believe that photo was taken after the clothing was taken out of the washer.
Well, can I borrow your laser pointer, ma'am?
Yes.
I realize it's difficult to see maybe from your angle, but do you see, where'd it go? Won't go on the TV, that's lovely. So, if you would, please. This is an old center auger type of, I don't know if that's the right word for that thing in the middle there, right? But that's what I'm gonna call it, it's an auger, is that fair?
Sure, that's fair.
Okay. Now, you can see the pants better in this particular photograph, can you not?
Yes.
So, at any rate, the clothes, at least the pants from this particular angle, we know are still inside the washer, right?
Yes.
This
I
is-
believe this was after the pictures were taken where they were being held up.
But at any rate, this is the washer in question in this particular case, right?
Yes, it
It's
is.
not from somewhere else.
Not that I know of.
Fair and accurate reflection of what you remember seeing while you were there processing the scene.
Yes.
Okay. Would you make it an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I appreciate you.
There was no Blue Star testing of that washer, was there?
No, there was not.
Well, let's define what Blue Star is, because obviously you and I might know, but maybe everybody else doesn't. Now on TV, they call that luminol, wouldn't they?
Yes, Blue Star has a component of luminol, but it is called luminol on the CSI ships.
Yes. So it's a liquid that I assume is sprayed and it reacts with blood, iron, I think, that causes it to glow under a blue light. Is that a fair assessment?
It doesn't glow under a blue light. It causes any blood stains to glow. So you would need to have a dark environment to see that glowing. It's not like it is on the TV shows where they just put on a special pair of glasses and they can see it no matter what the lighting is.
But there was no Blue Star testing at the washer, was there?
There was not at the washer, no.
And the washer wasn't taken, seized and sent back to the lab to be tested in any such way, was it?
It was not, no.
The drain tube wasn't collected or any kind of testing done with it for looking for blood, was there?
No, it was not.
And there was no dryer in the home, correct?
Not that I saw, no.
Now, you, as you've been trained and as you testified, you took crime scene notes, didn't you?
I did.
And isn't it true that nowhere in your crime scene notes do you document the phenomenon of the clothes that came out of that washer as being wet? And I have in here if you need me to refresh your memory.
I don't believe I wrote any notes that would have said that the clothes were wet.
Now, I want to make sure, because it's difficult for me to know. I've not seen your handwriting before. So I'm going to hand something up. I'm just going to ask if your initials are on the document, because it may be Kim Lowe's and I and a L, especially if I'm writing, it might not be easily.
These have exhibit numbers.
They do not, Judge. If you'll just show that to the, sorry. Ms. Ice, is that yours or Ms. Lowe's?
That is Kim Lowe's.
Okay, excellent. If I can have that back, please. If you could, I have two other ones. If you take a look and if you could just help me identify who they belong to. We'll start there, please. Thank you.
The first page is my notes, and the second page is Melanie Carlisle.
Excellent. Thank you very much. If I can retrieve this, please. Okay. Thank you for that. Now, there was a document. Unfortunately, I'm not as familiar with the vernacular and the name of the documents. Give me a second to figure it out. And when you were in preparation for today, you just looked at the things that you did. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. And so I've taken the liberty to highlight a section. It looks like at 1442, which would be 242 for most folks, that's when those clothes in the laundry were collected. Isn't that right? Do you recall?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I took the liberty to highlight it because I guess in the moment I couldn't see it, but in the highlighted section there, 1442, it's talking about you collecting the clothes out of the washer. Isn't that right?
It just says that I checked the clothes in the washer for any reddish brown staining, and it was one pair of pants and one polo shirt.
And that's all it says.
That's correct.
Okay. Is that a fair and accurate reflection of the notes that you took that day on April 25th, 2022?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd like to place that into evidence. I believe that would be fine. Thank you. Let's move over to those boots that you found in bedroom 3. You certainly documented them. Did you collect them?
I'm not sure if I was the one who collected them. I would need to check my notes. They were collected.
They were collected, but did you by chance collect them?
Let me check. I did collect those.
Yes.
Judge, if we're going to publish that, I'd like to go ahead and publish the others. That way they can get that done all at one time.
I didn't talk about it.
I don't know that they've been published yet, Judge.
Pass something around.
The track, the
The truck,
barcode.
back, we can pass it.
I'll go ahead and just a second to look at that, Your Honor. Ms. Isley, let's talk about, you had mentioned yesterday, I think it was, let me look at my notes, that you're looking for anything possible when you're processing the scene. I put that in quotations. You remember saying that yesterday?
We searched the scene for anything that we think could have happened. Yes.
And we're talking about potential items of evidence. You're looking for things that you think may, you specifically are looking for things that you think may have DNA on them, right?
Yes. We would usually search the items for any appearance of blood. If there was blunt force trauma to someone, we would look for a weapon that would correlate with those kinds of injuries.
And you arrived at around 5:12 a.m., I believe it was, on the 25th. Is that right?
That's correct.
And it took about, was it 10 or 12 hours to process this scene?
That sounds about right. Yes.
Now, when you were videoing the outside, you came around to the back of the house where the bodies were. You remember that, I'm sure, right?
Is this the first initial video?
It would have been any videos that the bodies were present, the phenomenon that I'm getting ready to ask you about. But you just remember, I'm just trying to draw your attention back to that moment in time to have in your head.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. All right. And isn't it true, about 2 feet to the left of Sherry Cole's body, there were a pair of 2 black pleated shoes side by side up against the house?
I don't recall that, but
If it was in the video or in all these exhibits that have been placed into evidence, then they are there. Would you say?
yes,
Okay. And they weren't collected, were they?
there were no black shoes collected.
And you made it a point when you were talking about that video, you honed in on Sherry's bare, clean feet. You remember talking about that?
Yes.
Also, when you came inside and you took the video, you videoed the top of the refrigerator. You remember doing that?
Yes.
There was a gardening implement on the top of that refrigerator, wasn't it?
I don't recall.
Garden rake. It's got 3 prongs on it, and each prong sort of kind of looks like a flathead screwdriver. You ever seen anything like that in your?
I have seen those before.
All right, so if it's in the video, then it would be, that's where it's at. You just
Yes.
take the evidence for what it is, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, and it was not collected, was it?
That was not collected. No.
In any updates that you receive from the investigative side of the TBI, let me back up and set the stage a little bit. So I'm going to call it, you've got the CSI team. That's you and the VCRT. is
The
that right?
VCRT.
Okay, so the CSI team, that's one set of TBI agents. And then there's a set that are involved in investigating. They're just not dealing with the evidence necessarily. Is that fair? If I can group them like that for our conversation?
Yes. In this case, that is what occurred.
And we talked about how the investigative side would sometimes drive the forensic side. How about that? On what to be looking for. We established that earlier. Remember saying that?
Yes, they would give us updates if they had new information on what it is that we needed to be looking for on the scene.
And were you ever told about somebody driving a specific route 3 separate occasions? Any of those vehicles that were on the scene? Was that information ever related to you that you can recall?
I do remember them saying there were not tire tracks, but there was basically where the dew on that, whenever we first got there was dew and it looked like a vehicle had driven around the property.
That's in the grass on the property of the crime scene, correct?
Yes, there were tracks behind that black truck and then they went around the house and then there were some on the other side of the house as well.
They sort of paralleled the blue and tan Bronco, didn't they?
Yes, they kind of went behind that Bronco.
Okay. Now, but as far as leaving the physical property there on Old Snaps Ferry Road, you were not told about somebody leaving that crime scene on 3 separate occasions, going back and forth from somewhere. That information was not relayed to you, was it?
I don't think so. I don't recall that.
And it would have been more of the investigative team's responsibility if they wanted to do a search down that pathway of whatever somebody had driven. That would be more their responsibility than yours, I imagine.
Yes, so whenever we get there, we have a designated.
Sorry, I missed this. I hope she's still here. Hello, Leanne. Hello, my darling. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I missed it until now. I'm just going through the chat now. Just going through all the nonsense in chat with all these women. But I hope you're doing well, my darling. Hope you're still here.
Designated crime scene area. It's usually where the tape is. If we need to move the tape out a little bit, we have the capability to do that. I do remember the investigators saying that they had found a Little Caesar pizza box, and that was one of the reasons why we were looking for a Little Caesar's receipt.
All right. I want you to focus back on the bed in bedroom 3 after the comforter had been moved. Okay.
Yes.
We saw an exhibit that was probably the close-up exhibit of the hammer that was found on the bed. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. There were no water stains underneath that on the sheet, were there?
Not that I recall, no.
Nothing that made you collect or cut out that aspect of the sheet thinking that there was sort of any transfer of biological material. Is that right?
It did not appear that there was any type of wet staining, no.
And in fact, the hammer itself had no visible to the naked eye reddish brown stains. It was just collected based on placement. Is that fair?
It was collected because of the wounds on the victims, so we collected that. Any type of hammers, I believe there were 2 that were collected from this scene, so we collected it because of that and because of the placement in a bed.
Right. So the one way up on the hill, and I guess maybe that was the last video, and then the one on the bed, both of those hammers were collected, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. But you didn't see something like a phenomenon similar to what you saw on the white face of the kitchen cabinet or in the bathroom tub. You didn't see that on that hammer. It was later discovered in the lab, I imagine, right?
Yes, I didn't examine the hammer, but I only took the videos and I don't remember seeing any visible staining. It did have a lot of rust present, so it's a little bit harder to tell because rust can sometimes have that reddish brown stain, but I did not sit down and examine that marker.
And I don't recall seeing a measurement, but from those 1 by 1 centimeter reddish brown stains closest to the window and to where the hammer was, they were on opposite ends of the bed. Would you agree with that?
Yes, they were.
Maybe around 4 feet, 4.5 feet from each other.
About not quite the length of the bed, but yes.
We couldn't rule out that the 1 by 1 inch centimeter stains at the head of the bed, that they'd been there for days, could we?
No, I wouldn't be able to say when a stain was placed on an item.
Could have been a month even.
Yes, I have no time frame information.
You've tested items for DNA in other cases, right?
I have, yes.
Cigarette butts are a fairly easy profile to obtain, isn't it?
In theory, yes.
Typically, we'll say. Is that fair? I mean, I'm just
Yes.
trying to be fair.
As long as people don't share cigarette butts, they are very easy.
Yeah, if it's just one person smoking away, and then it's just going to have that one DNA profile. You don't have the problems of a mixture. That's what you're saying, right?
That's correct.
Ms. Isaac, if you give me just a second, I'll try to wrap up. Ms. Isaac, thank you very much.
You redirect?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
She's free to go back to the lab.
She's free to go back to work.
Thank you for being here. You're free to go back to the lab. Call your next witness.
I think she's out there. Let's call Melanie Carlisle.
Melanie Carlisle. He's also with the
Also with TBI, Your Honor.
Ms. Carlisle, were you here yesterday when we swore? No, I need to swear you. Raise your right hand, please. Someone swear from testimony give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so you got.
Yes, sir.
Have a seat right there. Sit up to the mic. Get comfortable. Speak up so we can hear you.
Would you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
My name is Melanie Carlisle. I'm with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation in the Knoxville Crime Laboratory in the Unit of Toxicology and Alcohol, and I'm also a team leader for violent crime response.
How long have you been employed in that capacity that you just told the court?
In that capacity, I've been employed for 26 years, which is my whole tenure at TBI.
Would you please tell the members of this jury, I know you're testifying in a different capacity today. Let's just give them an idea about your background. Can you tell them about your educational background?
Yes, I have a Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology from Lincoln Memorial University. I also have a minor in chemistry from Lincoln Memorial University and a specialty in blood bank from the University of Alabama at Birmingham. Once I was employed at TBI, I completed their alcohol training program and their toxicology training program, which lasted about 7 months to a year. And then I also got trained in basic crime scene response and crime scene processing.
On April 25th, 2022, Were you a member of the violent crime response team?
Yes, I was.
And were you called out on that day?
Yes, I was called out to a scene on April 25th, 2002.
Do you remember about what time your team left Knox County?
It looks like I got a phone call at 1:43 a.m. And then we left. When we get called out on a scene, each team member leaves their house. We meet at the Knoxville Crime Laboratory and gather up all the equipment that we would need for processing. And then we continue to the scene. So it looks like we arrived on scene at approximately 5:12 a.m.
You're on. Here's the Carlisle was referencing some notes, reading from the notes.
Are you reading the notes?
I'm not reading, I'm referencing a time.
She can refresh your memory. She can look at it and refresh your memory.
Very well.
Prior to April 25th, 2022, can you tell the members of the jury about how many crime scenes you had played a part in processing?
Approximately 70 to 80 crime scenes. Most of those, I was a team leader. I was a team member from 2000 to 2006. I became a team leader in 2006.
This was not your first rodeo.
No, that was just a number off my head. That probably does not include any vehicles or anything that was brought to the lab to process. That's just going out to a scene at a different location.
When you arrived at this scene, is there a division of duties
There
given to the
is.
team members?
There is, each person on a team has their specialty that they will do. One person will do sketching and measuring. One person will collect evidence. One person will do photography. One person will do videography. So it's kind of divided. And then we also have extra people like myself at this scene. I was the extra person because a team leader was coming up to take over that team because I was coming off of crime scenes. So I was there to help her. I was there to assist everybody in measuring or collecting whatever needed to be done at that point.
When you arrived at this scene on those early morning hours, can you tell the members of the jury what you remember seeing, what you were dealing with, and what you remember seeing?
Because it was almost approximately 5 o'clock in the morning, it was still dark. So you couldn't really see a lot outside. We looked around, we did a walkthrough. We got a briefing by the agent that had already been there. And then once daylight happened, we were able to see a little bit more. I specifically remember we were in the middle of the field and all the cows were staring at us, but at 5 o'clock in the morning, we didn't know there was cows out there because we couldn't see them. So it was dark. And then once we did a walk through the house, we look at evidence that might need to be marked. Before we touch anything or move anything, it's photographed, it's videoed. And then we will put markers out for evidence that is obvious, that we don't have to move anything to mark anything. We will take those, photograph them, video them again with a marker number. And then the team will go in and collect those items. And then we start moving things throughout the house to see if there's any other evidence that might be hidden or not obvious in plain sight.
Would ask you please to look at Exhibit 335. Agent Carlisle, do you recognize Exhibit 335?
Yes, this is a photograph that was taken of a bedroom. Once things had been moved, this wasn't originally how it was found. The comforter that you can see pulled back was actually over the top of marker number 24.
Do you have a laser up there anywhere near you, Ms. Agent Carlisle? I'll let you just point those things out if you like.
So this is marker number 24. It was collected as a hammer. And this comforter here was originally, when we got onto the scene, was pulled over the bed to where you could not see marker 24. So this was taken after we had already went through and collected and marked what was obvious. This is when we start moving things and we find other pieces of evidence.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would ask you to please look at 336. What is that, a photograph of, Agent Carlisle?
336 is a screwdriver. It is marked as marker number 26. In the previous photo, you could see it in the floor of the same bedroom that marker 24, the hammer, was found.
Does that accurately depict what you were seeing that morning?
Yes, it did.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I would ask you please now to look at Exhibit 461. Are you able to identify that exhibit, Agent Carlisle?
Yes, this is marker number 26, which was the screwdriver you saw in the previous two photos in the floor of the bedroom. It was packaged in this box. I dated and initialed and timed the date and time that I collected that piece of evidence.
And those are your initials, I guess, MMC on it.
Yes, they are.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I'd ask you please to look at 461 paren 1. Please tell us what 461 paren 1 is.
This is that same screwdriver that was placed as a marker. This is the inside of the box that you just saw, the outer box in the previous photo. This is how it was packaged on the inside.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would show you exhibit 334 and ask if you can identify it.
This is a photograph showing a little bit more of the bedroom. You can see from wall to wall. So you can see the entire width of the bedroom. And I'm standing at the door. Here's the door frame. So you can see this wall. So that gives you almost the whole view of the bedroom. Again, this is where marker 26 was in the floor, which was the screwdriver you saw in the previous photos, and marker 24, which is the hammer you saw in previous photos.
Does that accurately reflect what you saw?
Yes, it does.
Would you make it an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I'd ask you to please look at 337.
337 is just a photograph that pretty much has the entire bed. This was the comforter that was spread out across the bed. It wasn't like made, it was just in a wad on top of the bed, but it did cover marker 24. So this is just a close-up of that bed where marker 24 was.
You collected that hammer, did you not?
Yes, I did.
Would you make that an exhibit? Does it accurately reflect what you saw that morning?
Yes, it accurately reflects after we got in and moved things, because the comforter I did have to move the comforter to see marker 24.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I would also ask you to please look at exhibit 457. Ask if you can identify it.
457 is the outer packaging of marker 24, which was the hammer that you previously saw on the bed as marker 24. It is dated and the collection time and my initials that I collected it at 1:15 p.m.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes, I will.
Ms. Allen, would you please find that box for us? I show you that box and ask if you can identify it.
Yes, this is the actual box that reflects that photograph of the outer packaging. It is the box in the photograph.
Your Honor, at this time, I would like for her to be able to open that box up.
Do you have some gloves?
Ms. Allen is always prepared for that.
Box, so this is-
Would you make each of these items exhibits to your testimony?
Yes, they are.
I would ask you now to please look at exhibit number 360. Would you please tell the members of the jury what we're looking at there?
In this photograph, it's the picture of a washing machine with the lid open, and you can see some clothing down here. The washing machine is located right inside of the door that we accessed. If you're looking at the road, it would have been on the right, or if you're looking at the house from the road, the door would have been on the right side of the house. I think it was technically the back door. So I don't know how they referred to that, but it is the door that you would access that come right on into the little walkway porch and where the washer was located.
And can you see anything in that particular picture in the washing machine?
There is clothing items here that look to be brown or khaki that was in the bottom of the washing machine.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you now to look at 362. Exhibit 362.
362 was after we photographed the washing machine as we found it. We removed all of the clothing items from the washing machine and gave them a marker number 28, which looks like a pair of khaki pants and a dark green shirt. I think it might have been a polo shirt.
Can you tell the members of the jury what condition those clothes were in at that time when you collected them?
When we collected them and found them in the washing machine, they appeared to have some dry spots and some damp spots. But when we pulled them out of the washing machine, they had definitely been into the spin cycle of the washing machine where they had been spun at the end of the wash cycle.
And do you know how those items were collected after that?
Yes,
Okay. Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
yes, it is.
How were they collected, Agent Carlisle?
We collected the clothing in brown paper bags because they were wet, and so that way it would let them dry.
I'd ask you to please look at 356.
This is marker 28 of the clothes that was found in the washing machine, and one of our team members was holding up the pants so that they could get a good photograph of the entire length of the pants. But this is how they came out of the washing machine.
Does that accurately reflect what you received that morning as related to the crime?
Yes, it is.
What did the condition of those clothes look like in that photograph?
They appear to have some stains on them, but they are wrinkled, like I said, where they've been through the spin cycle of the washing machine. And it appeared to have some darker spots, which was possibly the wet spots from them being in the washer, and lighter spots possibly being dry spots from finishing the spin cycle.
So some part of it was wet.
Yes, some part was in, but they weren't soppy wet. They were just damp, just where they hadn't been taken out of the washing machine to dry.
Would you make that, does that accurately reflect what you received that morning?
Yes, it is.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
357.
The past photograph was the front of the pants, and this would be the back side of the pants. So you can see the entire length of the pants. And there appears to be staining here in the pockets as well, and lighter spots that are possibly dry and darker spots that are possibly wet.
Does that accurately reflect what you received?
Yes, it does.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes, it is.
Exhibit 358. Agent Carlisle, what are we looking at there?
This is the green shirt that was found in the washing machine with the khaki pants. It appears to be wrong side out because you can see the tag here, and it is a polo shirt. You can see the way that it's made up at the top. This is just holding it up so that you can see the entire length of the shirt in one photograph.
Was that wet or dry?
It had a couple of wet spots, a couple of dry spots like the pants, just where it had been through the spin cycle.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes, it is.
Exhibit 359.
This is the back side of the green shirt that was in the washing machine. You can see a spot here. I don't remember if that was a stain or if it was just a wet spot from being in the spin cycle.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes, it is.
Now, Agent Carlisle would ask you to please look at exhibit 477, paren 1.
These photographs were made after it came back to the lab, so I was not present for these photographs, nor did I take these photographs. But this is the same khakis and the green shirt from the washing machine once it got back to the lab to be analyzed.
And would you look at exhibit 477?
This is the packaging in the brown paper bag. Like I said, the items were wet, so the proper packaging would be paper until we could get it back to the lab, because you don't want the wet to be sealed in plastic that could create mold or mildew. So it was packaged into a brown paper bag, and on this bag you can see marker 28 that it was the clothes from the washing machine, the date, the time that I collected it, and my initials.
And again, Agent Carlisle, in your years of experience, you found that that was an appropriate way to collect those particular items of clothing.
Yes, I did.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Exhibit 478. Would you please tell the members of the jury what that is?
This is paper bag packaging for a pipe that was found in the bedroom. My best recollection, that pipe was found underneath the bed. In the past photographs that you saw where marker 24 was the hammer on top of the bed, this item was found underneath the mattress, underneath the bed. It was given marker number 30, and it was collected by me from that bedroom.
Ms. Allen, could you find that particular bag for us? packaging, did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes, it is.
And then I'm
78, right?
478.
That'd be it.
I'm also going to ask you to look at 461, it's the box. Would you please look at that box and tell us what it contains?
This is the outer packaging for marker 26, which was the screwdriver that was in the floor of the bedroom that you saw in previous photos. And this is the outer packaging in this current photo that you can see.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes, I do.
All right, it's 12 o'clock. Is lunch there yet? Yes, no? We'll start. We're not here yet, so go ahead. Thank you.
Please, Carla.
Hello.
26 years.
Yes.
And in this particular situation, it sounds like that you were somewhat training Special Agent Isaac to be a team lead. Is that fair?
No, I was co-team leading with Ken Lowe, who took over my team for a couple of years after I come off crime scenes.
Okay. Now, in this particular aspect of your role in processing the scene, is you just assisted where necessary. That's kind of what I got out of it. Is that an oversimplification?
Yes, I assisted Kenna with collecting evidence. I assisted Kim with measuring and documenting. I assisted with the removal of the bodies by the EMTs and medical examiners. I assisted with photographing. So I was pretty much there to just fill the roles that anybody needed to be filled because I didn't have the specific duty of team leading at that point.
But you were co-team lead.
I was co-team leading, so I was there if anybody needed anything.
Okay. Now you take from time to time you get refreshed on your training, probably yearly. Is that right?
Yes, we do get training refreshers in alcohol toxicology and in crime scenes as well.
And so you go through the proficiency testing when it comes to crime scene processing, right?
Yes, crime scene processing, as well as the other sections that I work in, are proficiency tested yearly.
Okay. And obviously you need to pass those because that could undermine your credibility when you collect evidence, correct?
Yes, you are required to pass your proficiency test every year.
And part of that is understanding, as like you put it, maybe a overarching title, crime scene investigation, which is a lot of things, right?
It encompasses a lot of things, yes.
And so the 3-picture method, as it relates to taking photographs of an item of evidence, that's sort of the general rule. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, the general rule in photography is that you take faraway photos that you can see where the placement of evidence is in a room or an area. And then you would take a medium photo where you're a little bit closer to that item. And there may be a couple more items in the photograph as well. And then you would take a close up where it's just that one piece of evidence.
And you mentioned measuring particular items. Now, are we talking about the small little 90-degree angle measurement? Or are we talking distance from, let's say, one piece of evidence to another?
It could be basically one piece of evidence to another or reference points in a room. So if you take the door frame of a bedroom or a living room, then those reference points are what you're going to use, and you're going to measure from that door frame to each piece of evidence. And then you're going to go to the other side of the door frame and measure to each piece of evidence. So essentially, when you're measuring, you're putting that piece of evidence, if you go to the scene, you can go 10 years later, and you can put that piece of evidence approximately back where it was at the time you found it.
Absolutely. And so we can take a look at Exhibit 337. Ms. Allen, thank you. So evidence marker 25, right?
Yes,
Evidence marker 24,
yes,
2 pieces of evidence.
yes.
Was it measured, the distance between the two of them?
I would have to refer to my notes to see.
And these notes that you're talking about, these are crime scene notes, right? Is that the right vernacular? Notes that you took while you were processing the scene to refresh your memory for this very instance.
Yes. So you would document all of the measurements that you take while you're at the scene. And then if it's requested, you can provide measurement log or diagramming of different locations and different pieces of evidence. I did not actually do the measurements, but I did assist in the measurements.
Now, I'll give you just a second. Do you, from your knowledge, your notes, did you take a measurement, or do you know of anybody that took a measurement between those two items?
I don't recollect that, but it would be in the measurement notes when I find them.
This one.
Some of the lunches are here. It's 12:05, we'll break to 1:05. Everybody get back ready to go, probably about 1 o'clock, we'll be ready to go around time. Agree out there?
Find that measurement.
So here you go. This is now after lunch. I'm going to go and make my lunch very quickly. Yeah. So there you go. It's now 7:42 p.m. here. So this is day 2. This trial is we're on day 2. Day 3 and 4 tomorrow, and live. I don't even know. I don't even know where we're at. Anyway, I'm gonna go make some lunch. There's a little bit left here now. About an hour and a half, 90 minutes or so. So here you go. Thank you, Rhonda. Always the only one likes in chat. Thank you, Rhonda.
Okay, we had stopped, if I remember correctly, when we were talking about the distance between marker 25 and 24. Did you happen to find that measurement?
I did. Kim Lowe did the measurements. I assisted. She actually used a technique of measuring that was not to a reference point of door frames and triangulating it to a piece of evidence. What she did was take measurements of all 4 walls at a 90-degree angle into the evidence of at least 2 walls. And because it was on the bed, she took a height measurement. So there's not a distance between the 2 pieces of evidence, but each piece of evidence is measured to at least 2 walls.
How about this? Is what you're saying that she used this special method so she could tell us exactly where exhibit 25 was, and then she used the same method to tell us where 24 is? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that is correct. She did not relate the 2 in a measurement, but she has separate measurements to put both pieces back on the bed where they approximately were.
All right. And you were looking through crime scene notes and some other material, I guess, that you've got there to help refresh your memory. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And we sort of made fun of that, but that's the whole purpose behind them, right?
It is.
Help refresh memory.
The whole time we're at a scene, we take notes from what time we get there to what we did, what we see anybody else doing, what time we leave, anything pertinent that we might need to remember a year, 5 years, 10 years down the road.
Right. I mean, shoot, you've probably done hundreds of toxicologies for DUI cases and stuff since then, haven't you?
I've done 10,000s of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. So, when you're filling out these crime scene notes, then as you've been trained to do, you're trying to make it accurate, right? You want to make sure that if you're taking a time down, that it's the right time, correct?
Yes, we do use approximations because somebody's watch might be a minute different, but it is an approximated time, which is pretty close to the real time.
Right.
Yes.
And so, and various other things, measurements, if that was important, you write down important things, don't you?
Yes.
And you do that so that you can remember them. We talked about that, but let me rephrase it. So we want to be accurate, right? We want to be detailed. We want to have those details in that document because after 10,000, toxicology tests that you've done, it's hard to remember everything, right?
Yes.
All right. And so we want it to be complete. We don't want to leave special details out. I mean, those details become super important 4 years down the road, like they would be in this case, isn't that right?
Sometimes you don't know about a detail if it would be important or not. I've had details that I've written down that weren't important, but then I've had details that I thought, oh, this didn't mean anything, but it ended up being important. So you do it to the best ability that you can.
However, suppose that there was a standard operating procedure on a specific type of evidence. Surely you would document something like that, wouldn't you?
We do document all of the standard operating procedures. We do have standard operating procedures for crime scenes, crime scene collections, and presumptive testings.
And a good example, I think, would be all these boxes here that have your initials on them, right?
Yes.
The timestamp that you were writing on those when you collected them, all that's an example of what we're talking about, isn't that right?
Yes. Once you collect something, you document the packaging with a date, a time, an initial, and certain other things like an agency case number, where the evidence was, what particular piece of evidence it was. So you document what you can on that bag.
And the CSI team has its own set of acronyms for these types of details so that you can take quick notes, right?
It does depend.
I'll
Some
give you an
things we
example.
do have acronyms for, but some things we don't. So we actually have to write them out.
So like SBPB, 1-SBPB, that means one sealed brown paper bag, right?
That is exactly right.
Now, these crime scene notes that you take, those are reviewed by the team lead, aren't they?
Once the crime scene is finished and processed, all of the notes from each team member and any kind of logs that we've done while we're there go into one packet. It is put together by the team leader. It is reviewed by somebody else on the team, and then is technically admin reviewed by somebody that was not at the scene. So I guess it's reviewed 3 times.
And so one of those reviews, you might find some initialing down in the bottom corner of these notes to show that they've been reviewed, correct?
Sometimes initials at the bottom of the notes mean that I wrote on the piece of paper. So if it's Kim's notes and Kim, for example, is taking a measurement and I'm writing the measurement down as she calls it out to me, I've written on that piece of paper. So by policy, I'm required to sign. So it could just be that I wrote on the paper, or it could be that Kim, she page numbers all of the crime scene document because she was the team leader that put it together. So initials could mean different things.
Well, let's try to get to the bottom of that, shall we? to hand you some documents here, or Mr. Music is. Let me show this to the DA's office. Do you recognize this document?
Those are my notes. Yes.
And when you know that they're your notes because your initials are up in the top right-hand corner, correct?
Yes. And that is my handwriting as well.
Yes, absolutely. And so there appears to be some sort of nomenclature of a time there, maybe a date and time. Is that what that is? What are all those numbers under your initials?
So policy is that each page of the notes that we take at the scene will have a date on them and a lab number once we're provided the lab number, my initials and a page number. So let's say, for example, in this paper, I had 4 pages of notes while I was at the crime scene. So I have page 1 of 4, 2 of 4, etc.
But the 22200, etc. That's the case number for this case. Is that what that is?
Yes, that's the TBI crime lab case number that it's given once we get back to the laboratory to submit evidence.
As you're trained to do for these types of notes, correct?
Yes.
All right. Let's see here. Is that a fair and accurate reflection of the notes that you took that day? Now, granted, there's some highlighting there, and I apologize. I got a little happy with the highlighter, but other than the highlighted aspect of it, is that a fair and accurate reflection of your 4 pages of notes?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd like to enter that as the next exhibit 495, I believe.
Yes, liquor 495, let's go back to the jury.
If we could hold those off, I'll pass them in just a moment. Thank you.
495. And Carlisle notes. I'm seeing notes.
So, Ms. Carlisle, what is now exhibit 495, I'd like to draw your attention to page 4.
Page 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to adhere to what the judges want to do. I'm going to skip to line 2. Okay, and we'll read that to you. It says, and I quote, between mattresses, comma, box spring, back room. Isn't that correct?
Yes, that's what it says.
Okay, on line 3, it says collected all khakis, correct?
Yes.
And on line 4, there's a line drawn down and then to the right with an arrow, and it says washing machine, correct?
Yes.
Comma. And I believe that is pair or pale in back room. I'm sorry.
Pair in back room.
Talk about the khakis.
Yes,
Yes,
there's a
ma'am.
pair of khakis back there as well.
And then line 5 is gather equipment. Line 6 is leave scene. Isn't that
Yes.
right? Okay. Now, nowhere else in that document do you mention the washing machine. Isn't that correct? I'll give you a chance to look.
The only thing that I mentioned in my notes is helping search the house in the back bedroom, which is the same bedroom where the hammer was found, which was marker 24, and
But
then
nothing-
search more of the house. So
An overall search.
I was in searching.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now, isn't it also true that nowhere in that document does the word wet show up near that where it says anything about khakis, washing machine, or anything? Isn't that right?
It doesn't show it in the document, but I do specifically remember it.
And I'm sure it has been hammered into you. It's just over and over. At least I know in my experience, those things, when I had these standard procedures drilled into my head, that if it's not documented, it didn't happen. You heard that in your 26 years at the TBI, haven't you?
It can, but notes are based on your recollections and on your notes. And I recollect the washing machine was in the spin cycle and they were damp and dry spots because of the spin cycle.
Now, would it surprise you that the lady that helped you collect that evidence, Kenna Isaac, said that the items were not wet because the standard procedure for collecting wet items was not adhered
Just
to?
saying, you can't refer to what somebody else said.
Your Honor, I'm using it as impeachment. I don't understand why I could not use that. We have contrary testimony to what has been given by this witness. I'll rephrase it. I'll do that.
Rephrase it.
You mentioned that you wouldn't use a plastic bag for those items. Isn't that right?
Yes, because they were possibly damp.
If Kenna Isaac disagreed with that assertion, if her testimony was that the standard operating procedure for collecting that evidence was to place it in a plastic bag, is she wrong? Is she
It was
lying?
not placed in a plastic bag.
That's correct. That is correct. But if that is what the standard operating procedure of the TBI is she wrong about that?
No, so if you have a piece of wet evidence that's soppy, dripping, wet, and could seep through the paper bag, then you would put it in plastic until you could get back to the lab, put it in a drying room to let it dry completely, and then packages into the paper bag.
And your specialty for the TBI is toxicology, correct?
Yes.
It's not DNA.
No.
Just give me 1 second to look at some zip here that can add. Ms. Allen, could you do is kind of just put 360 on the screen, please? Now, as part of your crime scene investigation training, We talked about the 3-picture rule, so I'm not going to belabor that anymore, but we've got this particular photograph here, exhibit 360, right?
Yes, that's right.
And so what we don't really have is timing. It's hard to say when this particular picture was taken, but isn't it true that there's not a photograph directly over top looking at the clothes in the washer before they were collected, before they were touched?
I would have to go through all the photographs to see, but I haven't seen one today in court.
Nothing has been presented to you so far from the state as part of your testimony.
Not directly into the washing machine. It may exist in the raw photographs, but I'm not sure if it is or not.
Now, your testimony about the wrinkling and had been through the spin cycle, that's not scientific testimony. That's just lay witness testimony. Is that fair?
Yes, it's not scientific. Most people know what clothes look like when they come out of the spin cycle of the washing machine.
Especially one with an agitator. I got the thing wrong earlier, but an agitator that usually fills up completely with water, doesn't it?
Depending on the water level that you have it set.
And especially older models, I would think, isn't that right?
It depends on the water level that you've got set. And a lot of the older models will cut off. You can't get the door open.
Now, and the washing machine in and of itself, it wasn't collected, was it?
No,
There wasn't a picture of any standing water in the bottom of the tub?
there was not standing water in the bottom of the tub.
No picture of any moisture inside the tub?
Not that I recall.
Wasn't tested with Blue Star to see if there was any presence of blood anywhere inside the machine?
No, just the items of clothing that were in the washing machine were collected to be tested and analyzed.
Now, I'm going to withdraw that before I go there. Now, in essence, the state has essentially covered with you the main items that you were involved in, right? So you weren't involved with the gray truck outside, correct?
No, I think they were documented at the scene, but then there was a vehicle that was brought back to the lab for processing, but I don't think it was gray. I think it was black.
Yes, ma'am. They didn't process the Honda. You weren't involved in any of that.
No, I think I maybe helped Kim with measurements, but that was all that was done at the scene, was documenting where the vehicles were on the property.
Ms. Karloff, give me just one moment, please. Thank you, Ms. Karloff.
Can you read record, Mark?
No, Your Honor.
Is she free to go back to the lab? Thank you for being here. You're free to go back to the lab.
Your Honor, Ms. Karloff is also under subpoena for the defense. I'd like to have a little time to contemplate that before I release her, please. I'll try to make that decision before we finish today.
Okay, I'll let you hang around. Call your next witness, Dave.
Your Honor, we call Kim Lowe.
Kim Lowe. Is she with the 50 also?
Yes, she is, Your Honor.
Hold her right here. I need to swear you before you step up.
Raise your right hand this morning. You solemnly swear upon testimony give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. What's your step right there? Up here, get comfortable, speak up, so we don't hear you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Lowe. Would you please state your name to the jury?
Special Agent Forensic Scientist Kim Lowe.
How long have you been employed with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation?
This is my 22nd year.
And what are your principal duties there?
I work for the Forensic Biology Unit, so I look at the presence of bodily fluids, semen, saliva, and blood, and then generate a profile from that, and then compare it to a known standard to see if they match or they don't match.
Have you been in that capacity your entire time at the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation?
No, the first 3 years I was a forensic technician.
On this particular April 25th, 2022, were you a member of what is called the Violent Crime Response Team?
Yes, I was.
And as a part of that team, were you called out to assist in the double homicide investigation here in Greene County?
Yes, I was.
When you arrived at that scene, can you tell the members of the jury what you remember having to deal with. What did you observe when you arrived?
When we arrived, it was nighttime. It was dark. I remember we parked the truck a little further up. There was a stream in the middle and then a white house off to the side and a bunch of cars in front of it. That was the first initial portion of the scene.
And is it fair to say that in your role, it's not just in the lab, but it's also a part of processing crime scenes?
A minor portion is processing crime scenes, but my major portion is in the lab.
Did you do specific things there at this particular crime scene? Who was the team leader at this particular scene?
I was the team leader. I also did sketching and I did help with serology analysis.
And as the team leader, what were your duties as a team leader?
As team leader, I came in, we assessed the scene, we walked the scene to see what was needed, and then assigned duties for other people to go ahead and start taking pictures, start taking videos, looking to see how we were going to process the scene.
And did you do a walkthrough?
Yes, I did.
Please just tell the members of the jury what you remember about your walkthrough.
I remember walking through the house. Came up a set of stairs and then into a door. Coming into the kitchen, pretty much the stove was right in front of you, and the kitchen was to your right, refrigerator, the sink to your right, and then there was a bathroom off the kitchen. If you went straight from the door towards, there was a living room with a couch in it. Then there was, I think, 3 bedrooms, so one right off to the left when you came in the front door, and then 2 more, one in the middle and one at the end across from the living room.
Now, as it relates to your primary duties, what is forensic biology?
So forensic biology is just the study of the bodily fluids, semen, saliva, or blood, and pertaining to the law.
And what special studies or training have you undertaken to qualify as a specialist in forensic biology?
I have a Bachelor of Arts in Biology from Gettysburg College in Pennsylvania, a Master of Arts in Anthropology from the University of Albany in New York, and then I've had a year and a half of in-house training, working cases pertinent to each stage of our analysis, and I completed a mock trial.
What technical equipment is available to you?
A variety of them help us in extraction process. There's some robots. They help separate the DNA. We have a 7500. I forgot the name of it. We call it 7500. It's a quantitation set. It tells you how much DNA you have. Then we have the 9700 Verities. They go ahead and amplify the DNA for us, and then we run it on a 3500, and that gives us the profile I'm going to look at.
Have you previously testified in courts of law as an expert in forensic biology?
Yes, I have.
Now, did you attempt in this case to isolate and analyze known blood samples of the defendant Jordan Allen, Bill Cole, Jessie Allen, and Sherry Cole?
I believe there was blood samples from Sherry Cole and Jessie Allen, but the other 3 were buccal standards.
Let me talk to you briefly and help me if you can in plain terms. What is DNA?
So DNA is a molecule that's in your body. You inherit half from your mom and half from your dad, but it makes you unique, except for unique except for identical twins. They will have identical DNA.
Where can DNA be found?
So DNA is found in all aspects of our body. Again, in semen, saliva, and blood. So in blood, it's in the white blood cells. In semen, it's in the sperm cells. And just general saliva, you're looking at just general skin cells.
Did you have a known standard for Bill Cole?
Yes, I did.
I would ask you to please look at Exhibit 466.
So on the
Ms.
bottom.
Lowe, can I do something for a second?
Yes.
I apologize to you. I can make a big mistake. I'd like to do something before I show that.
Okay.
That would be all right. Did you prepare an official forensic biology report in this case?
Yes, I did.
I'd like to show you Exhibit 454. It will be behind you on the screen. And then I would ask you to look at page, if you can show her, page 13. Is that your signature on that report?
Yes, it is.
Would you make this report an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
It'll be fine.
I would ask you please to look at 466. Exhibit 466, which will be placed on the screen, and ask if you can identify it. What is that, an image of Agent Lowe?
So that's there's a unique laboratory number that's associated with that case, and there it has a unique exhibit number. In this case, for me, it's 21A, and that relates to elimination standard from Clarence William Cole. Plus, it's sealed with TBI crime tape, and it has my initials on the seal.
Do you see a laser up there in front of you anywhere? Yes.
So those are my initials on the seal. That's the unique laboratory number, and then down here, 21A is the exhibit number for this case.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
It'll be fine.
I would ask you to look at, please, 466, paren 1, and ask if you can identify it.
So this is the plastic bag that was inside the sealed envelope you just saw. And inside that sealed plastic bag are the swab packs. Again, unique laboratory number with the exhibit number of my initials, and those are the swabs that were inside the swab packs.
Does that accurately reflect what it purports to be?
Yes.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
File.
I would like to show you exhibit 465 and ask if you can identify it. Do you recognize that image?
So yes. Unique laboratory number, here's 25A, which is our exhibit number, is the known vehicle swabs from Jordan Allen. My initials with the TBI seal.
So we have Bill Cole and Jordan Allen. Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
File.
I'd ask you to please look at 465-1, paren 1, and ask if you can identify it.
I don't see my stuff. So this is the sealed plastic bag that's inside that sealed envelope, and those are the swabs that were inside that.
And what swabs were those?
25A belonging to Jordan Allen.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
That'll be fine.
I would ask you please to look at 480, exhibit 480. Are you able to identify that image?
So yes, the sealed envelope. This is the unique laboratory number. 20A is the exhibit number from the lab, and it is the known blood standard from Jessie Allen. And again, my initials down here on the seal.
Would you make that exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
That'll be fine.
I'd like to show you exhibit 480, paren 1, and ask if you can identify it.
So this is the half of the FTA card that's inside. It's got the unique laboratory number, the 28 that goes along with the exhibit. And then this is what it looks like inside that. There's two circles filled with RBS, and that's the cutting I took.
Would you make it an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
That'll be fine.
Then I'd like to show you exhibit 482. Do you recognize that image?
So yes, so this is sealed envelope. Unique laboratory number 20D is associated with known blood standard from Sherry Cole, and then my initials on the seal.
Would you make that an exhibit? Does that accurately reflect what it purports to be? Does it accurately reflect what it purports to be?
Yes.
Would you make it an exhibit to your testimony?
That'll be fine.
And then I would ask you to look at 482, paren 1.
So another half of an FTA card, exhibit laboratory, unique laboratory case number 20D. So you've got two circles for the FTA card filled with RBS, and that's the cutting that I took from that sample.
So as I take it, we now have samples of the four key individuals: Jordan Allen, Jessie Allen, Sherry, and Bill Cole.
That's correct.
I would ask you,
You want that file?
yes, Your Honor, I do. Thank you.
That'll be fine.
I would ask you to look at exhibit 463 and see if you can identify it.
So this is a sealed brown paper bag that was collected on scene and then brought back to the lab. We've given it our exhibit 4A through 4Js. That's what's inside of it. But the bag itself is just exhibit 4.
And that contains swabs from those particular markers that
That's
are
correct.
listed there. Is that correct?
Swabs from the outside and those particular markers.
Would you please would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
That'll be fine.
I'd ask you to look, please, at image or exhibit 463-1 and ask if you can identify that image.
So these are all the swab boxes that are inside that brown paper bag, all starting unique laboratory case number, starting with 4A going down to 4J.
4A to 4J.
That is correct.
So now please let us look at, would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
That'll be fine.
Would you please look at 46.3 paren 2? 460.
So this is one of the swab boxes. This is exhibit 4A, which are swabs from grass on marker number 2. This is what the swabs look like that were inside, and the cuttings from that swab.
That was from the grass outside near the Bronco, is that right?
That's one of the swabs from near the grass.
Did you test that? Did you test that particular swab to determine if it matched any DNA involved in this case?
Yes, I did.
Were you able to make an opinion, reach an opinion based on a reasonable degree of scientific certainty?
Yes, I did.
Please tell the members of the jury what you found about that blood right outside that Bronco. Marker 2.
Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained matches Exhibit 20D, Sherry Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor of the DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for the African American, Caucasian, and Southwestern Hispanic population.
That was Sherry Allen that matched that. Is that correct? Sherry Cole.
Sherry Cole.
Yes, thank you. Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would you please look at 463, paren 3? You recognize that image?
Yes. So this is our exhibit, swabs from grass, marker number 8.
Did you also do testing on that to determine if there was a DNA match for that swab taken from grass near marker 8?
Yes, I did.
Please tell the members of the jury what your findings were.
Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 2 individuals. The major contributor matches 20D, Sherry Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the major profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual to be included as a contributor of this major DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
I know, Agent Lowe, that that's, what does that last language mean when you're doing the showing how that fits in with the rest of the world? What does that tell us pretty plainly?
So that's the weight that we give to the match. In this case, the world population is 8 billion people, and this match on this exhibit is greater than that.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would you please look at exhibit 463, paren 4? You recognize that image?
Yes. So the unique laboratory case number up here, 4C in my initials.
Did you test this particular item and did you reach an opinion based upon a reasonable degree of scientific certainty about whether it was human blood, and if it was human blood, whether or not it matched the DNA of one of the persons involved?
Yes, I did.
Please tell the members of the jury what you found.
So this is another marker near swabs from the grass. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained matches 20D, Sherry Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who will be included as a contributor to the profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony? In order, Agent Lowe, if there's no objection, in each one of these that I'm going to ask you about in my succeeding questions, each one of them, once we identified, I'm going to make sure that you can testify that you reached an opinion based on a reasonable degree of scientific certainty as to whether or not it's human blood and whether it matches, and maybe I can speed it up just a little bit if you can agree that that's what you were looking for when you saw the particular swabs. Would that be all right?
That's fine.
All right. Let's please look at 463.5. Would you please tell the members of the jury, do you recognize that image?
So yes, the unique laboratory case number in 4D is associated with swabs from grass, marker number 10. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained matches Exhibit 20D, Sherry Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual to be included as a contributor to the profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Same for 463, paren 6. Would you please look at it?
Yes, so this is Exhibit 4E. 4E is swabs from grass near the Bronco, marker number 6. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with Exhibit 20A, Jessie Allen. Therefore, exhibits 20D, Sherry Cole, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who be included as a contributor to this DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
463.7?
This is exhibit 4F. 4F are swabs from a rock near the Bronco, which is marker number 6.
And what did you find?
I did not work this exhibit.
You did not.
I did not.
Did you look at 463.8?
This is exhibit 4G, which are swabs from the wheel and lower car body of the Bronco, which is marker number 7.
You did not perform an examination on this one, did you?
That is correct.
And when we do just in case on your report, when you're calling out, say, a 4C or 4D, would you let the members of the jury know what that is, how it's kind of shown on your report?
I am.
Would you please look at 463.9?
So this exhibit 4H, those are swabs from the muffler on the Bronco, marker number 7. I also did not work this exhibit.
You did not perform an exam on this one.
Correct.
Please tell the members of the jury on these where you did not perform an exam, what went in your decision making.
So I was trying to do locations for areas of where the RBS was. I took some from this location and some from this location to see who may be present and who the blood might belong to. I didn't work all of the items. We collected all the items just in case, but I didn't end up working them all.
Please look at 463 paren 10 and ask if you can identify it.
This is exhibit 4I, which is related to swabs from the grass near the Bronco, which is our marker 11. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained matches 20A, Jessie Allen. Therefore, exhibits 20D, Sherry Cole, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor to the DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the world population for those 3 population groups.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I ask you to please look at exhibit 463 paren 11.
So this is exhibit 4J. At one point in time, either during swabbing or during cutting, the swab broke. 4J is associated with swabs from driver front tire of the Bronco, our marker 20. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained matches 28 Jessie Allen. Therefore, exhibits 20D Sherry Cole, 21A Clarence William Cole, and 25A Jordan Allen are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor to the DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those groups, 3 groups.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
That'd be fine.
I'm going to ask you please now to look at exhibit 464. Ask if you can identify it.
So this was collected on scene and put into a brown paper bag from all the markers from the scene from inside the house, and these markers are inside that and given our exhibit 5.
13, 14, 15, 18, and 23 are the markers for this particular sample. Is that right?
That is correct.
Would you please, just as you did before, we'll try to keep it moving along as long as there's no objection. Would you please look at 464 paren 1? Do you recognize that image?
Yeah, so these are the swab boxes. Unique laboratory number, exhibit numbers, and my initials that are on all the TBICs.
Would you please look at 464 paren 2? Please tell us what that image is.
So this is exhibit 5A, which is swabs from the kitchen cabinet, or marker 13. The results for that: presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The limited DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 2 individuals, or at least 1 is male. Due to the limited profile obtained and the unknown number of potential contributors, this profile is inconclusive.
It was inconclusive.
That is correct.
And I believe that came from, did you say the kitchen cabinet?
That is correct.
Would you please look at 464 paren 3?
So this is exhibit 5B, which is swabs from the couch, or marker 14.
Were you able to make findings based on that sample?
Yes. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained matches exhibit 21A, Clarence William Cole. Therefore, exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 20D, Sherry Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor of this DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current population for those 3 population groups.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
That'd be fine.
Would you look at please 464, paren 4?
This is Exhibit 5C. 5C relates to swabs from another area of the couch on marker 15. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained matches Exhibit 21A, Clarence William Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 20D, Sherry Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who be included as a contributor to this DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would you please look at 464, paren 5? It's another swab, I believe, from another area of the couch.
This is our Exhibit 5D. This is swabs from the couch back, or marker 18. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 2 individuals, where at least 1 is male. The major contributor matches Exhibit 21A, Clarence William Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 20D, Sherry Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the major profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor of this major DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony? Would you please look at 464-6?
This is our Exhibit 5E, which are swabs from the bathtub, or marker 23.
This is the bathtub, correct?
That is correct.
All right.
Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained matches Exhibit 20A, Jessie Allen. Therefore, Exhibits 20D, Sherry Cole, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor to this DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you please to look at exhibit 471. I show you that exhibit, that image, and ask if you can identify it. Can you get it?
This
Don't get in trouble.
unique, I'm having a hard time. This is unique laboratory case number. Shoes with RBS from bedroom number 3 is our Exhibit 8A.
Do you know what that bag contained, Agent Lowe?
They contain shoes from bedroom number 3.
Is that the actual bag itself that's pictured on the image is on the board as exhibit
Yes.
471? Would you make both those exhibits to your testimony, the actual bag and the image of the bag?
Yes.
What was contained in that bag?
It was a pair of boots.
471 in one. So
It was a pair of tan boots, Brahma boots, steel-toed, USA men's 10.5.
now, for the members of the jury, there were several findings as it relates to these boots. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You would, if you would take your time, and I'm guessing almost all of these are going to fall within that worldwide range, but you would just please tell the members of the jury what you found as it relates to the areas of that boot.
So the left shoe. Give me 1 second.
Miss, we're going to get you some gloves. We're going to let you take the boots out. They're going to make it easier for you to describe what you find. Agent Lowe, I believe you were able to find blood on various areas of those boots, and you were able to make opinions based upon a reasonable degree of scientific certainty about the areas where you found human blood on those boots. And I believe that one of your first findings was the left shoe and the left side front.
So the left shoe, left side front.
Did you find that it had a match?
Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with Exhibit 20D, Sherry Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor to this profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for African American, Caucasian, and Southwestern Hispanic populations.
You also made a finding to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty about whether or not there was human blood and whether or not there was a major contributor on the left shoe, left side back, near heel.
Back here, where it says number 2 on the back of the shoe. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from 2 individuals, at least 2 individuals. The major contributor is consistent with 20D, Sherry Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 28, Jessie Allen, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as contributor to the major DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for African American, Caucasian, and Southwestern Hispanic populations.
I believe you also found findings on the left shoe, top middle.
So it's the top middle portion of the toe up here.
Can you please tell the members of the court that you found there's a reasonable degree of scientific certainty in your field?
Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture of 2 individuals. The major contributor is consistent with Exhibit 20D, Sherry Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as being contributors to the major profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor to this major DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups. The minor contributor profile is consistent with 28, Jessie Allen. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor of this minor DNA profile is approximately 1 in 2.394 billion for the African American population, 1 in 36.4 billion for the Caucasian population, and 1 in 4.5 billion for the Southwestern Hispanic population. Sorry.
I believe, did you not have one more finding for that left shoe?
Yes, so the inside of the left shoe, down in this area. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 2 individuals, where at least 1 is male. The major contributor is consistent with Exhibit 28, Jessie Allen. Therefore, Exhibits 20D, Sherry Cole, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as contributors to the major profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual to be included as a contributor to the major DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 groups. So on,
Yes, go ahead.
so on the right shoe, we're looking at the toe of the right shoe. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The limited DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 2 individuals, or at least 1 is male. Due to this limited profile and the unknown number of potential contributors to the profile, it is inconclusive for comparison.
I think you also found that a finding based on a reasonable degree of scientific certainty is the right side front of the right shoe. Am I correct?
Yes, so that is on this side of the shoe on the bottom towards the sole. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 2 individuals, where at least 1 is male. The major contributor is consistent with 20A, Jessie Allen. Therefore, Exhibits 20D, Sherry Cole, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as contributors to the major profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor to this major DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 groups.
I think you had one more finding as related to that right shoe.
So see where number 3 is, kind of up in here near the laces, that's the 3rd area. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained matches 20A Jessie Allen. Therefore, exhibits 20D Sherry Cole, 21A Clarence William Cole, and 25A Jordan Allen are excluded as being contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor to this profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
And then finally, you had as it relates to these shoes, you found, I think what you listed as inside heel and tongue of shoe.
So I swabbed the inside heel and the tongue of both of these shoes. So inside this, and then the backside of the tongue to see who may be wearing the shoes. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 3 individuals where at least 1 is male. The major contributor is consistent with exhibit 21A Clarence William Cole. Therefore, exhibits 20A Jessie Allen, 20D Cherry Cole, and 25A Jordan Allen are excluded as contributors to the major profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who will be included as a contributor to the major profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for the African American, Caucasian, and Southwestern Hispanic population.
Now, when we started, Agent Lowe, I'd asked you a question about how DNA is left or how DNA is found on particular items. Do you remember that question early on?
Yes.
The fact that Bill Cole's DNA is found there where the inner tongue of heel, inner part of the shoe, does that necessarily mean he was the last wearer of the shoes?
It just means he left the most DNA behind. It doesn't, can't tell you when the DNA was deposited, just how much and what was deposited.
Someone else could have been the last wearer of the shoe.
I don't know when it was deposited onto the shoe.
I would show you, would you make that an exhibit to your testimony, all of that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Show you exhibit number 457 and ask if you can identify it.
So the unique laboratory case number, this is our exhibit 11A, which is the hammer from bedroom number 3.
What were your findings as related to that hammer? If you were able to make findings consistent with a reasonable degree of scientific certainty?
Yes, I tested the head of the hammer. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 3 individuals, or at least 1 is male. The major contributor matches exhibit 20A Jessie Allen. Therefore, exhibits 20D Sherry Cole, 21A Clarence William Cole, and 25A Jordan Allen are excluded as being contributors to the major profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who will be included as a contributor of the major DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than those current 3 population groups. I also tested the handle of the hammer. Presumptive chemical testing did not indicate the presence of blood. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 3 individuals where at least 1 is male. Due to the complexity of the mixture, this profile is inconclusive for comparison purposes.
Your Honor, 457 has already been previously entered. I would ask that we show her the hammer that we've seen before. We can. I think you said the major contributor was Jessie, is that right? Jessie Allen?
That is correct, on the head of the hammer.
Will you take a look at the hammer again?
So I tested the head portion and then the handle portion, which is this portion down at the bottom.
You found that you did not find any contributors related to the handle, is that right?
There was a mixture of 3 people and I couldn't compare them. So it was inconclusive for comparison.
But on the head of that, you found a match for Jessie Allen.
The major contributor.
Would you make that exhibit to your testimony?
Wow. Yes.
Show you exhibit 334 and ask if you can identify it. Yes, please just tell us what we're looking at there and what you did, if anything, as it relates to that scene.
So this is the bedroom number 3 of the scene. That was what we just looked at. We also collected the screwdriver from the scene. I think that's a portion of RBS on the bedding.
Would you make that, it's already an exhibit, but would you make it an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would you please look at 339?
So that was the RBS towards the RBS on the bedding that was closer to the window.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Did you look at exhibit 340?
That's just a closer up picture of the safe stain.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would you please look at exhibit 462 and tell us what it purports to be?
So this is that actual cutting from the bed sheet. Is the marker number 25. And then the unique laboratory number with 12A, which is cutting from sheet from bedroom number 3.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would you please look at 462.1?
So
What
that's,
is 462.1?
that's the actual cutting that I took from the bed sheet.
And as all of these that I've asked about, does it accurately depict what it purports to show?
Yes.
Did you test that particular item?
I did test that particular item.
Please tell the members of the jury what your findings were as it relates to that.
Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
I haven't finished yet.
Okay, go ahead.
The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 2 individuals, or at least one is male. The major contributor is consistent with Exhibit 25A, Jordan Allen. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 20D, Sherry Cole, and 21A, Clarence William Cole, are excluded as contributors to the major profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who be included as a contributor to the major DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Ask you to please look at 461. Can you identify that?
So this is marker number 26. It's listed as a screwdriver, unique laboratory case number, and 13A, which was the screwdriver from bedroom number 3.
Did you make that image and that exhibit
Yes.
to your testimony?
Yes.
Would you please look at 461.1?
That's the screwdriver in the box from the room.
Did you test that screwdriver?
I did test that screwdriver.
What were your findings?
Presumptive chemical testing did not indicate the presence of blood. I then decided to look I swabbed the area on the handle portion, the shaft portion. Let me double check that. So I worked the shaft portion, which is this portion, for DNA. A limited DNA profile, including at least 1 male, was obtained. Due to the limited profile, this profile is inconclusive for comparison purposes.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Number 476, I would ask you to please look at exhibit 476. Do you recognize that image?
Yes. So this is listed as khaki pants from bedroom number 3. Lab number, and it's 14A. Khaki pants and belt from bedroom number 3.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Please look at 476.1. Can you tell the members of the jury what we're looking at there?
This is the pair of khaki pants and the belt that were in the bag that were in bedroom number 3.
Did you test those pants?
Yes, I tested both of the pants. I tested the pants and the belt.
Please tell the members of the jury what your findings were.
Both of the pants and the belt, presumptive chemical testing did not indicate the presence of blood.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I would ask you to please look at exhibit 477. Please tell the members of the jury if you recognize exhibit 477.
So this is something collected from the scene. It says clothes from washing machine. Marker number 28, which is our exhibit number 15, clothes from washing machine.
Would you please look at, would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would you please look at exhibit 477.1?
So these are the front and back portion of what was in the washing machine. So you got the khaki pants and the green polo shirt.
Did you do testing on those particular items?
I did.
Please tell the members of the jury what your findings were.
So both the polo shirt and the khaki pants, presumptive chemical testing did not indicate the presence of blood.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I would ask you to please look at exhibit 478. Tell the members of the jury if you can identify that image.
This looks like pipe from bedroom number 3, collected from on scene. As exhibit R16, exhibit 16 for us.
Yes, would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would you please look at 478 for Ren 1? Is that the metal pipe?
Yes, this was found actually after the bed was pulled up and it was completely under the bottom of the bed.
Did you do any testing on that metal pipe?
I did not.
Would you please look at exhibit 481? Can you tell the members of the jury what that image is?
This is unique laboratory case number 20H. So 20H are pants from Sherry Cole.
Would you please look at exhibit 481, paren 1. Can you tell the members of the jury what that image is?
This was the pair of pants from Sherry Cole.
Based on the criteria that we've talked about earlier, did you test this as to whether or not whether there was human blood and whether there was a match?
So I did not test this one for human blood. This one was tested for the presence of touch DNA. So they're looking for the presence of where somebody may have touched somebody else on that pair of, on this instance, on the pair of pants. I tested the back outside left leg below the knee. So back outside left leg in this area. So all I did was take 2 swabs and did a wet dry swab and just rubbed it on the pair of pants, and then I went through the DNA process. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 2 individuals, or at least one is male. Due to the limited profile obtained and the unknown number of potential contributors to the profile, this profile is inconclusive for comparison purposes.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Would show you exhibit 479 and ask if you can identify that image.
So this is our unique laboratory case number, and then it's 20L. This was boots from Jessie Allen.
Would ask you to please look at 479, paren 1.
So these were the pair of boots that he was wearing on scene. My unique laboratory number and my ID are up in here.
Where did you do any testing and what did you find?
I did test the bottom of the shoes to see if there was any blood present. Presumptive chemical testing did not indicate the presence of blood. I also tested the outside ankle area. So this portion on both of the shoes, you can actually see my little swab line. Portion of the shoes to see if anybody had touched that area. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 3 individuals, where at least one is male. Due to the complexity of the mixture, this profile is inconclusive for comparison purposes.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Ask you to please look at exhibit 473. Can you identify that image?
This is exhibit, looks like 22A, which is boots from Clarence William Cole.
Did you do testing on those boots?
I did.
Please tell the members of the jury what you found.
Both of those boots, presumptive chemical testing did not indicate the presence of blood.
And those are the boots that were actually taken off of Clarence Cole, is that right?
Yes, they were taken from him.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Exhibit 474. Do you recognize that image?
Yes, this is our unique lab number. The exhibit number looks like 23A. It's the shirt from Clarence William Cole.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
I would ask you to look please at 474, paren 1. Do you recognize that image?
Yes, I do. This is the shirt that was in that bag. It's not my unique laboratory number right in here.
And did you test that particular shirt?
I did. I tested a few areas of this particular shirt. So the lower front left in this area here, you can see my cutting. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with Exhibit 21A, Clarence William Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 28, Jessie Allen, 20D, Sherry Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as a contributor to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor of this DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
Bill Cole had blood on his own shirt, his own blood on his own shirt.
That's correct. The front left shoulder up in here. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with Exhibit 21A, Clarence William Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 20D, Sherry Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as a contributor to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor of this DNA profile is 1 in number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups. And the last spot on the shirt is on the back side, so the back left area over here. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 2 individuals, or at least 1 is male. The major contributor matches 21A, Clarence William Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 28, Jessie Allen, 20D, Sherry Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as contributors to the major profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who will be included as a contributor to the major DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 population groups.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Be filed.
Yes.
Show you exhibit 472. Can you identify that image?
Yes, this is unique laboratory number and 24A, which are pants and belt from Clarence William Cole.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Be filed.
Show you exhibit 472 and 1.
These are the pair of pants and the belt. My unique laboratory number is up there.
Please tell the members of the jury what your findings were as it relates to that pair of pants.
There's a few on the pants as well. First one is back right pant leg. So this one down here on the back portion of his right pant leg, presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained matches Exhibit 28, Jessie Allen. Therefore, Exhibits 20D, Sherry Cole, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who will be included as a contributor of the DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 groups.
And where did you say that the blood was in relationship to the paints? Where is it located?
Bottom right back of the leg.
Bottom right back.
Number 2, front left thigh is up here. So now we're to the front and in the thigh area. Okay. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing indicated the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood. The DNA profile obtained matches Exhibit 21A, Clarence William Cole. Therefore, Exhibits 20A, Jessie Allen, 20D, Sherry Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as contributors to the profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who will be included as a contributor to the DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 groups. And the last spot on this one is the back pants of the left leg. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 2 individuals, where at least 1 is male. The major contributor matches 20A, Jessie Allen. Therefore, Exhibits 20D, Sherry Cole, 21A, Clarence William Cole, and 25A, Jordan Allen, are excluded as contributors to the major profile. The probability of randomly selecting an unrelated individual who would be included as a contributor to the major DNA profile is 1 in a number greater than the current world population for those 3 groups. I also ended up testing the belt on the outside of the belt. Presumptive chemical testing indicated the presence of blood. Presumptive immunological testing for the presence of human hemoglobin, a component of human blood, was not performed due to a limited sample. The DNA profile obtained is consistent with a mixture from at least 3 individuals, where at least 1 is male. Due to the complexity of the mixture, the profile is inclusive for comparison.
Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
That'll be filed.
I'm going to ask you now, please, to look at exhibit 365. That is a photograph. Can you tell the members of the jury if you recognize that particular photograph?
This is a truck we worked. It was originally on scene, and we brought it back to the lab to finish processing it in the lab.
Would you please look at 360s? Would you make that an exhibit to your testimony? 366.
So to begin processing the truck, you go ahead and take photos of everything that's in the truck. And so this is one of the photos that we took at the beginning of the analysis of it, showing the front passenger.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the last
So
part.
the passenger side, the front passenger side.
You all did look at that particular part of the vehicle.
We looked at all the vehicle.
Yes. Would you please look at 367?
It's
We'll introduce 366.
Yes, sir. I thought I'd try to save you some time by just calling them out. And then if I can remember at the end, I'm sure Mr. Collins will punch me in. I'll be able to get them all in. 367.
this is just another view of the front of the truck from the passenger side.
And is that the way, what you found in that particular part of the vehicle?
Yes, that's what it looked like when we opened the door.
Would you please look at 368?
This is a picture of the foot area of the passenger front of the truck.
It accurately depicts what it shows.
Yes, that was how we found it.
369.
Pair of boots that were sitting on the front passenger seat.
And is that actually how you found it?
Yes.
Would you look at 370?
This is the console area, so below the dash, in between the two front driver and passenger area, but on the floor portion.
And is that actually how you found it?
Yes.
Would you please look at 371?
It's another view of, so it's looking at the seat of the front of the truck. So we're looking at, those are the boots that are on the front passenger seat. So we're looking at the middle and then to the driver's seat.
And again, does it accurately depict what you were seeing?
Yes.
Would you please look at 372?
This is a picture of the back of the truck. back seat of the truck.
Exhibit 373.
So this was what we'll start taking after we've taken original photos. We'll start taking items out of the vehicle and putting them on butcher paper, where we'll label the butcher paper and then take pictures and write down what is found. So this is what was found in the passenger visor area of the car.
374.
This was the console that you saw on the lower portion of the in between the two seats. This is what was that, and then the top portion on the seat. So like what would be in the whole console portion.
375.
This is what was found on the front seat. So the boots, and then what was in the wheel well of the passenger seat.
376.
What was found in the glove box of the vehicle.
377.
So this was found in the driver front area, which would include the seat and his wheel.
378.
This was what was found behind the driver's seat in the second back portion of the vehicle.
379.
Just another view of the same stuff, make sure we get pictures of all of it.
380.
Still looking, I think, still same picture, just getting all of what was in the back portion of the driver rear.
381.
So this is what was found behind the passenger side in the rear portion of the seat.
382.
More pictures of passenger rear, get all the items listed,
383.
and then probably the final photo of the passenger rear.
384.
We're back to the passenger front of the vehicle.
Would you please look at 385?
This is a receipt for Little Caesars found in the front passenger portion of the vehicle.
You have your laser with you?
Yes.
Does it show a time?
I see Sunday, April 24th, 2022 at 9:25 p.m.
Show what was purchased?
Stuffed crust cheese pizza. I don't know what an extra most bestest is.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony? I'd like to show you,
All these big files,
Yes, sir.
365, 388.
I'd like to show you exhibit 467.
That is the package portion of the Little Caesars receipt. So put it inside a brown paper bag and look at it.
And if you would, please look at 467, paren 1.
It's the Little Caesars receipt from inside the bag.
Larger so that people can see it more clearly. Is that right? It appears to be larger than the other one so people can see it more clearly.
Okay.
Would you make those exhibits to your testimony?
Yes.
I'd like for you please to look at exhibit 243. Please tell the members of the jury how this would relate and explain your testimony.
That is the house. So we originally arrived on scene where you couldn't see this portion of the house. So the front part of the house is back that way. And Bronco is like over here and then goes up.
Exhibit 244.
It looks like a smoked cigarette butt. We marked as item 1.
Did you test any of those cigarette butts?
I did not.
Did you just tell the members of the jury what decision you made as related to that?
I didn't. I was told that the
Objection, hearsay.
Just saying.
sorry.
What did you base? You can't tell what anybody else said. What
Okay.
did you base your decision on?
I based the decision on. I didn't work it based on what I was told, on whose they may be.
Exhibit 255. Can you tell the members of the jury what that is?
This is the other cigarette butt at marker number 3.
Exhibit 97.
It'll be filed, it'll be filed.
Your Honor, I was going to try to do this the way we did the others. If you, can you,
What was the last one, 297?
no, it was just 97.
97.
This is marker number 2. There are swabs from stain on the grass.
247. 246, I'm sorry, 246.
This is a close-up of the swabs, but sorry, this is a close-up from the stain on the grass that we swabbed for.
And these are those areas that you've already testified about the results. Is that correct, Agent Lowe?
That is correct.
247,
Another view of marker 2.
245. You can tell the members of the jury what you're seeing.
So this is, they're all stains from grass. So this is marker 2, marker 8, and marker 9. There's the house and the Broncos down here.
Exhibit 248,
This is marker 8, so it's a close-up of the stains on the grass.
249,
Hang on, 8. So the stain's down here, which is a fuzzy view, but the stain is down in this area.
250,
Another stain on grass, it's in this vicinity.
251,
The stain on the grass, close up.
252,
More stain on the grass for exhibit 9.
253,
Close up of the staining on the grass. And up in here.
254,
So this is the 3 is the cigarette butt. 10 is more staining in this vicinity.
256,
So there's a staining right in here. A close up.
257,
The staining. Close up the staining.
297,
This is exit marker number 6. So this is a large stain in the grass near the vice grips and a rock near the Bronco.
and again, this relates to what you've already testified to about, shows where it was found, but you've already testified to about the results.
That's correct.
298,
This is just another view of the staining on 6.
299,
Those are the vice grips that were found next to the large staining.
301,
This is just showing a relation of where 6 is in relation to the Bronco.
303,
7. So 7 are stain in wheel and lower car body and stain on the muffler. So it's going to be up in this area,
306,
up in here, and then down in here, and up in here.
again, all these accurately reflect what you were seeing. All of these accurately reflect what you were seeing.
Yes,
307,
close up of what was spotted on the under side of the Bronco.
309,
309. It's 20 and 11. So 11, this is the stain on the ground on 11, and then 20 is a stain on the tire. So there's a stain on the tire over here in this vicinity.
295, 310, get 295, 310,
So this is a close up of the stain on the tire. You've got some here, and you've got some on the lower side rim.
311,
Close up of the staining on the tire.
180,
We're now in the house. So this is the kitchen portion of the house, and this is marker 13. So that's the RBS that I tested and spoke of the results earlier.
181,
So close up of the RBS in the house on the kitchen cabinet.
182,
Even closer shot.
183,
So this is the living room in the house. Exhibit 14 and 15 are the staining on the couch.
184,
So 14 is in this area. 15 is, I think, is on the back side of the couch somewhere.
185,
So staining on the couch for 14. I read the results earlier on the couch.
186,
Close up.
187,
I can't see the RBS on this, so I don't. It's just a close up of the ashtray and it should be here. I can't see the RBS in this picture.
$188,
Okay, so couldn't see it because it was behind the cigarette. Here's the RBS for 15 on the lower portion of the couch.
$213,
So this is up the back side of the couch. It's probably right here. And then we'll have to wait for the closer view to see the close up on the other one.
$215,
So this is a small little area on the back side of the couch.
214,
I can't really see it on that one, but they should be above where the tape line is. So they're in this vicinity.
216,
So it's in this little area right here.
217,
It's probably right that tiny little spot over there.
218,
Yep. So it's that tiny little RBS standing right there.
219.
Another view of that, trying to get it so they can see it.
Would ask you please to look at 330.
This is the bathroom of the property. So this is the tub shower combo, and 23 is found in the tub portion of the shower.
331,
So it's that tiny little speck right there.
332.
A close up of the RBS in the shower.
I believe that that was a relative and match for Jessie Allen.
What's that? 23. That was matches for Jessie Allen.
289,
Back outside, marker number 6. Looking at the overall with the vice grips.
209,
This is the pair of boots from bedroom number 3.
Exhibit 328. Do you recognize that?
So there was another hammer on scene. This was way up the hill at the backside of the fence of the property.
Did you make that an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
And all those that you've related so far, would you make those exhibits to your testimony?
Yes.
459-1,
That was the hammer that you just saw packaged in the box. We collected it.
did you make it an exhibit to your testimony?
Yes.
Please look at 346. What do you see at 346?
So we're back outside of Bronco. This is the staining from 6/22. 22 is the screwdriver that's on the Bronco. So there's a screwdriver here. I can't see this number. So the screwdriver's here and the staining from 6 is here.
Did you test that screwdriver?
I did not. It was covered in a large amount of RBS.
.348.
That's that screwdriver. From what I remember, it had one.
The hammer that I just showed you, did you test it?
Sorry, what?
The hammer that we had talked about just a few seconds ago, did you test that hammer that was up on top of the hill?
No, I did not.
I'd like to show you, please, 460.
That's the, so we collected the screwdriver from under the Bronco and that's the packaging for it.
And it was located near the Bronco,
It was under the Bronco.
and you said it was covered. You didn't test it because of what?
I thought, from what I remember, it was covered in blood. But I thought if I tried to test it, I would only get the blood portion of the DNA and not somebody who may have touched it.
Show you the actual box at 460 and ask if you can identify it.
So this is that box, the marker number 22, the unique laboratory number, and then the exhibit number.
And you said you did not test that screwdriver.
I did not.
I'd ask you please to look at 338.
We'll stop here a couple minutes. So just,
I'm
I don't know how long you're gonna go.
right here, Your Honor. I'll speed it up just a little bit. I think we've got the rules down, and I can just say it at the end of 338. Do you recognize that item?
That is the hammer from bedroom number 3.
Let me look here real quick, Your Honor.
Hello, Leanne.
Sure.
Three.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, we're gonna start for the day.
Sorry, Leanne, I missed you earlier on. Hope you're doing well, my darling. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for your 5-month membership. I think that you left by the time I noticed you were here last time. So, what was I going to say to you all? So we're done for the day. I'm not going to carry on now because it'll be on till about 2 a.m. my time, and I'm not doing that. So in real time, they are doing closing statements right now. So try and avoid it is what I'll say. So they are doing closing statements, closing arguments right now. So we will play up until live tomorrow. So whether I have to go up till 2 a.m. tomorrow, I will do so, wherever. So tomorrow, I imagine, unless they start tonight, I don't know. But I will play day 3 and day 4. Day 3 is like 6.5 hours after breaks. So I mean, that's why I need to, not do, yeah, I'm off. I don't remember what the fuck I'm saying. But anyway, there you go. That's everything. We'll play tomorrow. I'll go live at about 9:30 Eastern tomorrow, and we'll Zoom it, and we will, have everything through hopefully, and we'll hopefully have a verdict by tomorrow, by the end of it. So with that, thank you everybody. I do appreciate it, even though some of you are whinging bitches, but it is what it is. So no worries at all, Sarah P, that's fine. And we can't wait for you to grace our presence, Lady Di. Right, everyone, catch you later. Well, my daughter's graduating tomorrow afternoon, so I would. Oh, there you go. You got to enjoy it, and hope your daughter enjoys as well, Sarah. Enjoy your day. So you deserve a day off. Can't believe I just said that, but yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Goodbye.